And welcome to another episode of the Average Black Man Show. Today we're going to be talking about, is the Bible still relevant to use as a standard in dating and marriage? I have my co-host Tammy here. Tammy, let's make it happen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm just chilling, getting blacker by the minute. That's all.
That's
Let me
good.
let me take this let me take this let me
Do
share this.
rag.
No,
It's
no,
a do. It's a do rag.
I'm just gonna copy the show and
Oh, I thought you were saying let me take this do rag off my head. That's what you did on camera.
oh yeah, that's funny. But no, I'm just gonna paste share the show in a couple of places. Uh or did I no, that's not the show. I thought I shared the show. But yeah, let me just I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't know. Yeah. You
Pardon
might
me,
not.
everybody. I'm
I'm just
experiencing
messing
technical
with
difficulties.
you.
I'm experiencing technical difficulties
You
out
got
here.
this. Go ahead. You got this.
Right. Technical difficulties. There we are. Boom. Share the show right there. And yeah, so let me go ahead and play the first clip. Let me go ahead and play the first clip and let's get this ball rolling.
Okay, so remember this. I feel like this. I feel like a woman and a man should not be together or stay together. If the woman ain't being a woman, because a man could be a man or you really a woman is what I'm saying. But I think the man is supposed to pay the bulk of the bills, take the bulk of the responsibility, and the women is supposed to make sure that man is happy, able to go out there and get that money and come home and take care of
Well, you
his
threw me off
family.
when you said the bulk of the bills.
I mean, like the mortgage, the shit you pay.
I mean, he
you
paying the bills is what I'm saying.
Well, you gotta get something, Lisa Ray. You gotta get the light bill.
Giving him ass. What do you mean?
The water, but he giving you dick.
Right. But that's supposed to be. Let's take it back biblically. Biblically, the man is supposed to be the provider and the king of the household. Now, the wife, the woman, is supposed to be the mother of the household. She takes care of the house. Now, we new millennial women, so that's a bonus that we get.
Okay,
that.
so
you got to be evenly yoked. The hustle got to match the
I'm gonna
hustle.
tell you where it get off throw and where it get thrown
You pay
off
the mortgage. You can't ask me to pay the light bill because I pay the mortgage.
I'm gonna tell you where it
If
get
you're a
thrown off
boss,
at.
you're
I'm gonna tell you where
supposed
it
to be
get thrown
doing
off
the
at.
damn thing. That's what I
When
say.
you're sick of me, you
And
gonna
I
tell
should
me to
not
get
be
out.
sick of you because you're supposed to be doing
I
everything that
understand
you're
that.
supposed to be
So
doing.
why? So
Which
let's
is
go
going to
back.
make me do what I need
Let's
to
go
be
back
doing.
to the Bible. Let's go
which
back
should be a
right after the
pleasure.
Bible. Let's go back right after the
I think
Bible.
we need to go up to commercial because I think I need to get you together.
No. Let's go back right after the Bible. Right after the Bible.
Okay.
Did your daddy pay for your wedding?
No.
See, that's where I f***ed up at right there.
My father was not living. That's why.
Okay, so
But it would have still been $1 million wedding. Believe that. Okay.
now here's the thing. The father is supposed to give their daughters away
Okay.
to the man. And the man is supposed to, at that point, take
Take
care.
on all the responsibility.
Okay.
And my father
Now, when we
was
do-
a king and
Now-
I
now-
was a princess. Right now I'm a queen. So you got to come with it.
Okay, so now,
You
for
don't be
me, to
stuck.
be
Come
paying,
on.
for me to be paying all the bills, let's say I'm paying all the bills.
That just let me
All right, it would be a damn commercial would come on.
I wanna take a walk on the wild side. Nah, I won't stop till I'm satisfied.
Damn
I
it.
just wanna go out.
Okay.
Get to a satisfied.
Let's say I'm paying all the bills. No, that's the problem. I've paid all the bills for many of years.
So that's
This
what you
what-
feel the problem
okay,
is. If
so
you wouldn't have paid all the
I'm
bills,
paying
maybe
all
you could
the
have had a
bills.
break.
All right, I gotta pause it for a minute for the whole, not to get the copyright flag or whatever. So
All
yeah,
right.
how you feel about that?
Well, I just feel like I can understand from both perspectives, and I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like I just feel like Lisa Ray, she wants to be, I feel like in certain aspects she wants to have things that are like she said, biblical and traditional, stuff like that. But then we're not living in those times, and we're not living and she's not. That's the thing. She doesn't want to live completely in those times either, I'm sure. Because if that's the case, she would have way too much mouth. And I'm not even saying that's me and every other woman I know too. But we have way too much mouth for biblical times. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The whole way she was getting at him right there was just
too much mouth.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like I just feel like a lot of people want to like they keep saying, I want this traditional, I want that traditional, and they don't even really know what that entails, I think.
Yeah, they just be talking out the side of their neck, right?
Exactly. And then on the other hand, I feel like she's been a woman who man has taken care of everything. So therefore that's a lifestyle she's accustomed to. And ain't nothing wrong with that either. You see what I'm saying? I think women who be like, oh, you crazy if you think a man's gonna do this, and that. It's like, because you just never had it, sis.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So you think those traditional roles shouldn't stand? You don't believe that men should pay everything? You should believe.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. I'm saying every relationship is different. What I'm saying is, like, remember in our chat, I kept saying modern problems, just like Dave Chappelle kept saying, modern problems for modern times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, modern solutions, right?
I mean, sorry, there you go. Modern solutions for modern times. And I just feel like, I mean, it just depends. It depends on where you are. Like, you might live in a state like California where, I mean, dudes ain't like able to just pay everything. Not a lot. You know what I'm saying? The majority of dudes are not just able to pay everything. Now, if he lives in Oklahoma or something like that, or a state that's more affordable, then it's like, yeah, you might find you a guy that's able to just pay the bills, the rent, not even the rent, but everything. You know what I'm saying?
In a lot of places like that where the cost of living is lower, the income is also lower too, though. So
right, but there's men out here making money. Like, don't let the taste fool you. It's some men out here making money.
Let me throw on this rebuttal video. Like I said, I had another video with the 20-year-olds and the 20-year-olds, 20 to 30-year-olds make a rebuttal. Here we go.
Friends clowning them, and they just don't be wanting to do it because they feel like they gonna get played. When I feel like men are supposed to be men, and they're supposed to treat their women. They have a part to play. It's in the Bible. Like, what's going on? Men want to be taken out and all this other stuff. Like, you a man. Like, be a man. Like
a man. Hold on. You want a man in the Bible, so that's a traditional man, correct?
Yeah.
But modern day women aren't traditional themselves. Why should he be traditional?
It's the generation that we're in. It's the generation that we're in. No. It's the generation.
Do you feel like he had a stinger or no?
He did for sure. But I feel like, come on now. I mean, these are 20-year-olds. Like, number one, these are 20-something-year-olds. Number two, yeah, shouldn't know. I mean, can't nobody claim traditional at this point,
right?
Men or women.
I'm gonna play it some more.
Generation that we in, and men, I feel like men stop valuing women and appreciating their women and making sure that their women is straight. Period. You hear her talking about the husband cheating on the wife and all this other stuff and giving more money to the side bitch and giving money to the main bitch. No, that's originally wrong. If you want to be honest, in the Bible, adultery is a sin. You get your head chopped off or some crazy ass shit like that. That's wrong. Like, if we want to go back there, but in the generation that we in now, so men want to be treated like women. Now, that's
Do you agree with her? You think these days men want to be catered to?
I do believe that in the case. I do make a joke. I had a joke about that before that y'all would have been like, oh my God. Because I did make a joke about that before. I said all these dudes want to be bad bitches. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men do. But I'm just saying, it's just, it's nothing wrong with catering to your man, though. It's nothing wrong with treating him like you want to be treated, you know?
Yeah. All right. I gotta say shout out to Fresh and Fit for this YouTube purposes. I'm gonna play a little more.
Okay.
Talk about it. Let's be serious. Men want to be taken out. They want to be treated nice. They want that off rip. Like, whoa, wait, you supposed to be doing that for me, but like
I've met a lot of feminine guys.
Yeah, the roles are now reversed.
I feel like that women are making more money than men.
Yeah,
Niggas be lazy as hell now. They don't want to do nothing.
They try, sell drugs.
They want you to do everything for them. And don't do nothing for you.
All right. So we're not gonna argue with you guys that a lot of men are feminized. As a matter of fact, that's why our podcast is exploding, is because we teach guys how to be more masculine. Yeah. However, you guys mentioned a bunch of traits that traditional men exhibit. Modern day women are not traditional. Are any of you guys virgins? Exactly.
Wait.
Well, no. Because if we're gonna put the standard on men that you want them to pay bills and be masculine and protect you, whatever, let's go all the way. Can you cook? You guys cannot expect a traditional man while you absolve yourself of traditional feminine responsibilities, because that's a bad deal for the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So none of you are virgins, okay? How many of you are good cooks and have a recipe book or whatever it may be?
Recipe book?
See,
Yeah.
I feel like it's different now.
The wife does.
Just
Yeah, the wife does. Sorry, guys.
I feel like that used to play a
Hold on,
part.
let me continue. Because if we're gonna have, like I said, and you'll be able to rebut this, but the point I'm trying to make is that women cannot hold men to traditional standards, not be traditional themselves, and then expect a man to pay full price for a depreciating asset. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot be non-traditional women and want the man to be traditional on his side and pay full price for a depreciating asset that isn't traditional on his end. Because whether
How you feel about that? Tammy, did you walk? Where'd you go? So you on mute?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't like that wording. Depreciated asset. Nigga, you a depreciating asset. What happens? No, for real. What happens at the end of the day? With the man, what happens? Your penis doesn't get as hard as it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Get out of here. Like, these girls are sitting up here thinking they got these, okay, like, if you think about it, you get a 25, you say a 45-year-old man marries him a little 25-year-old hottie. She thinking she got this good dude that's like, I'm finna take care of my wife, I'm finna do this. And she don't even know his penis capacity for real.
But that's
because
not
it done.
A 45-year-old man is dating a 20-something-year-old. She don't like him. She like his house. That's not
always true. That's not always true. Because I actually met a 40-year-old when I was 25. I don't know. These 40-year-olds are fine sometimes.
See the face?
No, that's not true. That's not what I was looking for. Nah. Nope. Just like it's not always about, because some men might think I'm 25. They usually do sometimes. But I'd be like, no, I'm like, my age. And
let me let him cook a little. I'm gonna let him cook a little more than.
I just don't like the way he said that depreciating assets was like, your assets are depreciating too. I think men feel like, oh, okay, well, since we're the protectors and the providers, that is the most important thing on earth. So if we're not protecting and providing, then you guys don't, you know what I'm saying? That is the most thing on earth. And it's like, no, I mean, there's other things women provide things, you know what I'm saying?
Well, according to Lisa Ray, women provide the kitty cat. That's all Lisa Ray said.
We provide the kitty cat, but no, women provide children as well. You can't have a woman without a child. You can't have a child without a woman.
She said,
shut up. Whatever.
What else the woman gonna bring? She said the kitty cat, and Trick Daddy was like,
you know what?
Trick Daddy said, well, we bring the ding-a-ling too. So it's like, well, what are you talking about? Is it transactional?
But that's her. No, because dingling ain't really worth too much, you know.
I'm like, is it transactional, really?
But she, that's her understanding of it. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, let me send it.
Women want to accept it or not. The reason why men were traditional and chivalrous was because women were virgins. They're polite, they're feminine, they're submissive. And when you got a wife, she was a wife, not a boss babe, not a boss bitch, none of this stupidity that's going on. So what's happened is female liberation has given you guys the liberation you want. But with every action comes a reaction. Female liberation, guys realize they don't got to pay for the cow when they can get the milk for free. You guys created this. Yeah. So we got to take some accountability here. You can't complain about the state of men because men always acquiesce to the situation and adapt and innovate to get sex.
Ether.
So how do we revert this?
Fire.
I also think a lot of it is like these men are expecting women to be a housewife, but it's like, the woman has to work too.
Times have changed.
Like the woman can't be a housewife and work.
Why not?
Is the man gonna work and be a house man? Like he's not gonna do the chores because he's working at full time.
You do know
I'm working full time, so why am I gonna be the housewife?
You do know our grandparents, grandmother used to work, come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, and do it all over again the next day. That
was
normal.
Woman, that's what you're supposed to do.
That is what you're supposed to do.
All right. How you feel about that? What's going on, Isaiah?
Man, shit. I was playing Call of Duty when you was I got done with a little round and shit. So
your ass should have been on this. No,
I'm here, Tammy. I'm here, Tammy. So don't. How you doing? I'm good too. Hi.
Hi, Isaiah. How are you?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I just feel that in that clip, I feel the age is coming out, right? Because I feel the age is coming out in the sense of they sound a little, both sides sound a little stupid. Because she said, well, we can't just like it's just a pleasure, like, oh, well, for some women it is, I want to be able to make my own money, yada yada yada. But
in a nutshell, okay, go ahead.
But she said, what are you trying to say?
I'm just saying, just in a nutshell, what is she saying? What were they discussing?
Go ahead. Tell him what they just discussed.
In a nutshell, baby girl in the white dress with the purple hair was saying that a lot of men these days are expecting women to treat them as men like women. They want you to take them out. They want you to go half on dates and whatever. And then she says a man is supposed to be a man like it's in the Bible. And then the brother on there, his rebuttal was like, oh, you're asking for a traditional man, but women don't want to be traditional women. So how right. So it's like you can't ask for a man to be a certain way and then you not be traditional and then have him pay full price for something that that he's not getting for being traditional.
Right. Well, men ain't being traditional men either because they want you to pay half the rent. But that's
not what she's talking about. But I don't know. Again, I don't know what it's saying, but I don't know. It's funny because I just saw a post on Facebook. It was this guy saying ladies, stop going out on dates with men. And if you're not interested in having them spend money, do this or that, and you're not going to give them no play.
No,
now,
I agree.
I
agree with
too.
that.
I do too because this chick got on there and she was like saying like, oh, because men were commenting and she thought like men were being like, I don't know, overbearing about it. I don't know, but she kept saying, oh, here come the He-Man woman haters. But it's like nobody's saying we hate women, but at the same time, it's like what you guys feel like at the end of the day, like your vagina is to you, like you guys,
I agree.
Like
no,
you feel like
I agree,
like,
and I'm gonna agree for a whole different reason.
Because it's like you don't want, but hold on, really quick. You don't want to be like men that feel entitled to your pussy, but you can't be feeling entitled to his pockets if he can't feel entitled to getting something after either. You see what I'm saying? Like,
I agree with that, but I also agree with this. I was born in 1981, and I was born in the era where women were getting R word. Okay. And it was
We're
like,
getting what? You guys
no,
are getting what now?
R word.
What's that?
You know that word. I don't want to say it.
I don't.
Are we monetizing it? Okay, well, women were getting raped.
Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what do you? I'm like,
I'm trying to be media. Oh, God. Okay, you just killed it. But anyway.
Well, that's what I said.
I grew up in the era where a lot of women were getting raped and stuff like that. So therefore, it's like, no. I mean, my thing is this. We know, trust me, as we got older, we realized no woman makes a man want to do that type of thing. But at the same time, it's men who get mad. They like, this B had me take her out and do this, and I paid da 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 da, and she ain't gonna give me no vagina. I'ma take it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
it's like,
that's
no.
out of line. That's
Yeah, I mean that is out of line, but still, no, baby. I came up in that era, so it's like I'm not even finna do that to you. If I ain't messing with you, I don't like you. I don't like you. That's it.
I briefly dated this girl. It was very brief, and this is why. It was one of the reasons why. She told me, she was like, yeah, when we first met, like started hanging out, she was like, you know, because the first day I met her one evening at this little spot.
Mm-hmm.
We're hanging out the next day. She's at my house. You know what I'm saying? Spending the night type shit. And then I go and spend the night at her house the next night when I drop her off. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, okay. So she's saying all this, and then she's like, yeah. And this, I don't have a problem with this. She was like, I kind of want to take things slow, you know, as far as sexually and all that stuff. That's fine. I respect that because I've been in situations. I remember when I was celibate, I wasn't having sex. I had to tell the female the same thing. Like, hey, like, you know, I'm not really on that right now. Like, but if you want to get to know each other, then maybe eventually I might feel enough to be like, all right, we can have sex. You know what I'm saying? But I just remember, so then she was saying all this, right? Like, yeah, she want to take things slow. I'm like, what's slow about the fact you didn't already spent the night at my house the following day you met me, right? I spent the night at your house the next night, and I met your parents. You get what I'm saying? Like, you want to take things slow. If you ask me, that's kind of going kind of quick. If you ask me, I know where you live. You know where I live. I didn't met your parents.
I think okay, those type of girls. That's the like. I want to tickle and I want to play tickle in the bed.
Right. Well, I mean,
you
like
stay
I
away
said, like
from them type of girls. They don't know what the hell they want.
What's not no? Well, here's the thing though. So but then she started telling me, she started hinting me at things she wanted me to pay for, like things for us to do, like ice skating and all this other type, taking her out doing all this type of shit. But I'm like, you're slow to give up the pussy, but you're quick to want me to spend my money. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, to you guys, you feel like your vagina is. That's what we feel like our time and our money is. Like that's how we feel like about
my
it.
Time. I don't like spending my time and my money either, and I don't spend my time and money on men. But I'm just saying.
But here's the thing: I wouldn't have minded if she was like, we can still get to know each other without the fact that because at the end of the day, it's an investment. Let's just keep it real. Like if we're gonna, because we can get to know each other without me taking you out to eat. I can come over and cook for you. You get what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to go out and spend? You know what I'm saying? For us to get to know each other, for you to figure out whether or not I am worthy enough for any extracurricular activity. I don't need to go out and spend all this money to do that, because at the same time, I could be like, I want more than just us fucking. Like, if we're gonna be in a relationship, then that's gonna take more vetting, obviously. But don't be like, oh, I want to take things slow.
It's not just about money. If you feel like, I would say this to any man, if you feel like the chick is just about money, then guess what? She probably is just about money. But guess what? Your ass probably just ain't got it like that, and that's why you feel a certain type
either
of way.
But even if I did have it like that, like I was just baller, this and that, same thing, because I'm at an age now where like I can't be like playing around like that. We're like, oh, just sleeping around and this and that. Like, no. So it that might be an age thing, or where you might be at mentally. I don't even think it's
an age thing. I mean, look
at all these
athletes. No, it's where you are mentally. It's not an age thing, because it's
that's what I'm saying.
Look at all these athletes and shit. These niggas is older than me and you, and they still be out here tricking.
But here's the thing though. That might be because they might not want to get married. They might not want anything.
No,
to get tied down like that.
Yes, they get married, but they do get married. Evelyn Lozada
they get married, and then a lot of them.
which
but a
is
lot
one
of them
the
too
Real
get
Housewives.
married.
I mean, no, the basketball wives. This chick get married every 2 years to a baller. Okay,
And
you
here's the
can't
thing,
tell
and
me she don't know where the money at.
that's not even that's not I get that. I agree, but I'm just saying again, like the players you said, the football players that are old, they've probably been married before and tried the married thing already and was like, nah, I don't want to be tied down. Like, I got all this money, all this status, this fame, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't been married and had kids, had a family, okay. And like some women feel like the same way too. Once they get done with that, they want to go and have their fun, quote unquote, whatever, not be tied down. Now, me, because I said the same thing. I said I got one good marriage in me, and after that, sugar daddy life. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like some men, like you said, if you want to go into society now, but then bring it back into the Bible days, we got to understand something. Like when you want to apply the Bible to this, it's like first off, we don't bear the discipline to have that type of a mindset to live like our ancestors, not even just people in the Bible, but people in those times, period. Because a lot of nations and countries, a lot of nations had the same mentality, mindset, culture, and system and way of doing things as far as dating and marriage went. You see what I'm saying?
Agreed.
But that requires more discipline because you can't, like, as somebody who studies the scripture and to the best of their ability has followed it, has applied it to life, has lived it, and realizing that you can't just say, oh, this part I'll take, but then that part I'll leave alone, because then you're like not understanding when you're dealing with a culture and law and order and structure, you can't just pick and choose, because one thing you'll accept, but one thing you will not accept is the thing that you won't accept is what's going to keep the thing back that you are accepting from really flourishing. Because it's like, how you going to do this? How you going to say a man? How you going to say a man got to have this? Like you said, but you ain't got this. You see what I'm saying? Like, where's the balance in that? Like, you want a traditional man, but you don't want to be a traditional woman.
But okay, I get that. But a traditional woman. Because I was going to say,
that's what
first of all, balance. I mean, when it comes to certain things, the balance isn't always quite balanced, right?
I mean, again, it isn't, and that's why I was saying, like, when you try to pull things, not you, but like when you try to, or when people try to pull in, like, oh, well, this is how our ancestors did it, and it's like we got to find that medium, we got to find that middle ground.
That's what I feel, and that's how I feel. I said that's what, and what's so funny? Dave Chappelle said, and it was a joke, but I still say it to this day. Modern problems require modern solutions.
Yeah, because again, that the mindset is not like, because you gotta understand too, when you let's look at some of our black leaders like Malcolm X and Elijah Muhammad. I'll take them for example, right? When they came and they was building the Nation of Islam, of course there were gonna be some things that, and there were some things that people were gonna side eye, like, what? But according to Elijah Muhammad, well, that's how they did it. The ancestors, that's how, what I'm saying. But at the same time,
and that's,
when you've been raised up,
Elijah Muhammad, though, that's a specific religion too.
But either way, but I said either way, right? Because when they was finding out, oh, he got all these wives and this and that, and we're not even just wives,
but it was
girls.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But if you look at that,
what happened with that? Okay, sorry, that's a side note.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
What you mean what happened with that?
So why? So he was. Oh, it was okay for him to have underage wives.
Again, see, that's the thing. See, they were sovereign too.
What does that mean?
You see what I'm saying? Well,
so what was they? Okay, so what was that?
Well,
okay,
I don't
so
know.
what's y'all level? So what's y'all age range?
Well, my thing is this: I don't deal with women past like a certain age. I don't know. I mean, definitely no under 18, but even in your 20s, you got to be a certain age for me. I've only had sex with a woman younger than 22 one time.
Well, that was my question. Well, that was my question because, like you said, if he was having sex with underage women, I was just kind of wondering.
Well, we don't know, but then, because we don't know where the consent came from, not just the girl, but her parents okay it. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing too. Like if
that is another thing.
Because in some states, you can marry at 16 with your parents' consent.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, again, that's why I don't call this the United States. How are you going to be united, but different states got different laws? That's another story. But you see what I'm saying? So we don't know what the consent of the parents were. And that's even kind of similar to like the R. Kelly situation, right? If you say you got these women bringing
Some of
their
them,
daughters to this
I
man.
think some of them were, but
No, I'm
no,
not, and I'm not, and at all. Hold on, I'm not justifying what he did at all. I'm not. I'm just
but you're
saying
saying if you
that
got those parents bringing their daughters, then they gave their consent.
right, exactly.
But
So you can't
but my
too
thing
much.
is this: even if somebody's parent gave them consent and brought their daughter to R. Kelly at 10, that's still a crime.
Yo, well, of course, because the girl's 10. She ain't even hit
That's what
puberty
I'm
or none of
saying.
that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, 13. There you go. Boom, puberty. Let
Yeah.
me give you my daughter at 13. That still should be a crime,
That's
but it
still
should
kind.
not just
Well, it
be a
should.
crime on R. Kelly, but it needs to be a crime on the parent too.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Why do the parents get to go free? Right? Like, if we
No,
gonna
we
hold
already
everybody
trust me.
accountable,
We already know.
yeah. But
A
again, like
lot
I
of
said,
them
there's certain.
parents. A
Well,
lot
these
of them
white folks, these
parents.
laws go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. I'm
No, I
sorry.
was gonna say a lot of them parents. We already know a lot of them parents should be on trial too,
Yeah. And that's my thing too, because I gotta tell people like in
including
the Bible.
Aaliyah's raggedy ass parents. And yeah, I said it.
Yeah, because like I said again, we can't bring back what our ancestors do, especially in the Bible. Because remember, they were marrying their second cousins, third cousins. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
and it
they
was
say
very
I don't know
normal.
about second, but they say third. You know, they say third cousins are far enough removed where you don't really have DNA.
Well,
You
what
don't share
about
DNA.
well, what about
But
Abraham
I
and
don't.
Sarah? You know, Abraham and Sarah were brother and sister.
Look, I don't know. Ew. But I don't.
But
I
I'm just saying,
mean,
like but that's again, you got to understand the culture of keeping the bloodline pure, the inheritance pure within
no,
the nation.
I
So
think that's something that the W people told us because that's what they do, especially like over there and like because you know a lot of them in the UK, that's what they do.
well,
Keep
I'm
it
not
in the
saying that
keep it in the
everybody
family
didn't do
type
that,
crap.
but
For the record, there are a lot of cultures right now in 2022 where they still do
And you know what?
marriages
And I
to
think they
keep
get
money
it
in
from
the
the
family and
W
all that type
people,
of stuff.
and they get it from the W people.
Well, no, they were doing it before that, long before that. It's
Who
especially when there's
invented it? Who invented
like
it?
a lot of Arabs and Indian cultures. Whenever there
They
was money in the
nasty. Okay,
family,
then they nasty
whenever there
too.
was money in the family, they would intermarry within the family to keep money.
Okay, well they're disgusting too.
Well, you just
you gotta understand something. But the only reason why you think it's disgusting though, is one reason, not you, but I see why a lot is because you think
You're
about
saying
the
why
relationship.
people? I get it.
Because it's like people look at the relationship because you're thinking that's my cousin, right? That's my cousin.
Well,
But
they
like
said
Tim
the
said,
only cousins.
but
They said they say third cousins are safe because third cousins are like more like
no,
they
I
don't
get
have
it.
enough DNA. You know.
And I totally get that part because I remember Lot's daughters had sex with him after they destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and they thought the world
You
came
know
to
what?
them.
I'm not doing
You
this.
know,
That's disgusting. That's why
I know,
that's
but
W people
I'm
stuff.
just saying. But you gotta understand too. You know the reasoning behind it a lot of times because you gotta say there's always a flip side to something.
There
you
is
can
a
be like,
flip side because
and
you
then
know
but then I
why?
look at it
A
like,
lot of
well,
brothers and sisters who end up procreating together have kids that are mentally disabled.
well, yeah, right. We're not talking about like that's. I mean, the incest thing. That's a whole nother.
Okay,
That's a whole
so
nother thing.
that's
You know, but if
incest.
you
I
have,
mean,
but again, if you have like cousins that are far separated, like I got like on my dad's side of the family, it's huge. I mean, like down south, they all over the place.
it doesn't matter, and
no,
you better leave them little green-eyed pretty chicks alone.
but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is
Might
that
be your cousin.
if we were living in them times, I had distant cousins, it wouldn't have been a thing to marry her because again, I don't know her. We don't have a relationship bond to where I'm like, oh my god, she's my cousin. Because when I meet her, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, you're my cousin.
Okay, but then
you see what I'm saying? Like
you might run the risk of having a developmentally disabled child.
maybe, but like I said, in this case, again, that wasn't the case in the Bible because Isaac went and married his cousin.
People still have, but you ain't even okay.
I'm just saying, like,
talking about.
I'm just look. Like I said, I'm talking about King James version. Isaac married his cousin. Rebecca was his cousin.
Did you really? Oh my gosh, we have to do a show on that. And that's a side note. King James did He did the Bible. He wrote the Bible, right?
No, he did not.
He
did not write the Bible.
Or whatever. His name is on it. But then he did some then he did some like thing on like Satanism or something like that. Did you guys hear about that?
I mean, I've
Yes,
actually I have. And
sir.
they
Y'all
even
need
say,
to
but even
y'all need to
but
research that. He
I
did. Then
but
he
even
did some. Yeah.
even
Then he
What?
wrote
but
some
either
What
book
is
on
he
like
and
thinking of
Satanism.
it's
right
just
now?
like they talk about, and then they try to say he was black when he wasn't black. Actually, they try to say
Right.
King James was black, but we went and did a little. Me and one of my brothers from the nation, we doing a little. We
Hey,
found out King.
y'all are going.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry. But okay. I'm
But
just
no, yeah, I
saying.
don't. Like I said again, I mean, as far as the dating in society goes, like for me, like sure
Well,
we want to say we want
it's been another
I was
tradition.
gonna play
podcast.
another.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to back this up.
All right. Let's play another video.
Well, just so Isaiah can catch up.
They supposed to treat their women. They have nice things. Because now niggas do nice things, they friends clowning them, and they just don't be wanting to do it because they feel like they gonna get played. When I feel like men are supposed to be men, and they're supposed to treat their women. They have a part to play. It's in the Bible. Like, what's going on? Men want to be taken out and all this other stuff. Like, you a man. Like, be a man. Like,
A man, hold on. You want a man of the Bible, so that's a traditional man, correct?
yeah.
But modern day women aren't traditional themselves. Why
Well-
should he be traditional?
Yeah.
Generation.
Yeah. The silence is deafening.
No, I'm silent because I'm listening. Go ahead.
Not you. I'm not talking about you. I'm
Oh.
talking about them. On the show.
Okay.
Come on, them.
Right.
Come on, Tammy. Really, Tammy? Come on.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I just again. I mean, he makes a good point. Again, like I said, like, but again, we don't have that.
It's not.
We don't have that privilege of like other nations, like even other countries, like even when they come here, you know, they try to, you know, they still implement their cultural values and all that stuff from their country. But when you come into another land like America, where you got so much more, things are more free, if that makes sense. Things are more loosely kept, we'll say, quote unquote, as far as like, because when you go to other countries, for example, there are certain things you can't do there that you think is okay here that you might think is like little. You see what I'm saying? Or they do things so much differently than here because they care more not only for their people, but they understand that America is like we're divided because everybody does their own thing here. So there's such a mass influence when they come over here. You know, they fear maybe their kids are going to get whitewashed or they'll get, I don't want to say blackwashed, but you know, you see what I'm saying? So that's the thing.
I mean,
we've had to
disagree in the sense.
but we gotta understand. But we had to actually live it. You see what I'm saying? So when you come over here, you got somewhere, like I said again, you got a place like America where things are just kind of like, hey, do your own thing. Pretty much, just don't break certain rules and laws. It's not as strict over here as it is over there. So you come over here, try to live that same mindset here, to the T, to the book. It's gonna be hard, real hard, because you got so much more people around you and your family and your kids who don't have that mindset, who have an American mindset, which are they're opposites. So now you got the influence of TV, media, social media, technology, all that stuff that goes into it too, that makes it hard for you to really, really be like, oh, I'm gonna follow this to the T and to the book, because there's certain things in there here in America they don't allow you to do from your own culture. You see what I'm saying? So you do run that risk of, you know, your kids becoming, you know, marrying to other nations, other races, and all whatever. You know, as you open up, that's what happens when you come here. You got to give up a piece
I
of your
agree.
cake.
I agree.
So-
I agree with that. But once you come here, they all assimilate to this culture, and that's that.
Not all of them. They all
well,
don't.
not all of them. But
Isaiah.
you know what I'm saying.
Play another little clip real quick.
Is that what's her name?
So remember this.
Okay.
I feel like this. I feel like a woman and a man should not be together or stay together. The woman, if the woman ain't being a woman, because a man could be a man, or you really a woman is what I'm saying. But I think the man is supposed to pay the bulk of the bills, take the bulk of the responsibility, and the women is supposed to make sure that man is happy, able to go out there and get that money and come home and take care
Well,
of
you
his
threw me off
family.
when you said the bulk of the bills.
I mean, like the mortgage, the shit you pay.
I mean, you paying the
get-
bills is what I'm saying.
Well, you gotta get something, Lisa Ray. You gotta get the light bill.
Giving them ass. What do you mean?
The water, but he giving you dick.
Right. But that's supposed to be, let's take it back biblically. Biblically, the man is supposed to be the provider and the king of the household. Now, the wife, the woman, is supposed to be the mother of the household. She takes care of the house. Now, we new millennial women, so that's a bonus that we get.
Okay,
that.
so I'm
you
gonna
gotta
tell
be
you
evenly yoked. The
I'm gonna
hustle
tell-
gotta match the
I'm gonna
hustle.
tell you where it get off throw where it get thrown
You pay
off
the
at.
mortgage. You can't ask me to pay the light bill because I pay the mortgage.
I'm gonna tell you where it
If
get
you a
thrown
boss,
off
you
at. I'm gonna tell you where
supposed
it
to be
get thrown
doing
off
the damn
at.
thing. That's what I
When
say.
you're sick of me, you gonna
I
tell
should
me to
not
get
be
out.
sick of you because you supposed to be.
All right.
I agree with her actually. I agree with Lisa actually on this one. Just for
And
me
I want to
personally,
know
because
why. I want to know why.
why what?
You agree?
I was about to get to that.
Oh.
She said it. And scripturally, yes, the man is the main provider. Now, given I see what Trick is saying, but again, no, bro, because if you can pay a mortgage, that means you have a house. You can't pay the utilities, my nigga. Like you got a mortgage, you can afford a mortgage. I feel like at that point, utilities should be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because again, now if you work and you make all the money, because even in the Bible said that women, they made their own food, clothing, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff in her home. You know what I'm saying? She bought fields, she bought land, she planted on it, planted food, whatever the family needed. From what? The money that comes from what the husband provides. You see what I'm saying? So even in scripturally, you can see that women have businesses. You know what I'm saying? They made money too, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna have to make this money to provide now, because that's what he's providing the money for me to go out and to do that. You see what I'm saying? So now you just have two incomes now. You have dual income. You see what I'm saying? So I can still foot the whole bill as far as the household goes. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel. Like me personally, like I don't really want to get married until I know that I can actually do that. Because
I think you have more of a different type of mindset on that than a lot of these men out here today.
Well, that's the mindset in the Bible. Again, you couldn't go out and get married unless you couldn't get married.
I don't know about the whole. When did marriage even come up? Because in the Bible, don't it say whoever you sleep with, that's who your wife is. That's who you took as your wife.
Technically, is who she was supposed to be. Yes, for the most part.
With
but
her, that was your wife.
Again, but that wasn't always the case. You see what I'm saying? Because either you wifed her,
like I told
and
her
if she
earlier,
if she wasn't a virgin, you had to pay her. Either way.
Okay.
Right,
now
but
hang
in
on.
the Bible, does
Something
it
he
not
just
say
said.
that?
Hang on. Let me play this because what he just said goes right together with this.
Okay.
Sure. You guys mentioned a bunch of traits that traditional men exhibit. Modern day women are not traditional. Are any of you guys virgins? Exactly. Well, no. Because if we're gonna put the standard on men that you want them to pay bills and be masculine and protect you, whatever, let's go all the way. You guys cannot expect a traditional man while you absolve yourself of traditional feminine responsibilities, because that's a bad deal for the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So none of you are virgins. Okay. How many of you are good cooks and have a recipe book or whatever it may be?
Recipe book?
See,
Yeah.
I feel like it's different now.
The wife does.
Yeah, the wife does. Sorry, guys.
I feel like that used to play a part.
Let me continue. Because if we're gonna, like I said, and you'll be able to rebut this, but the point I'm trying to make is that women cannot hold men to traditional standards, not be traditional themselves, and then expect a man to pay full price for a depreciating asset. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot be non-traditional.
I'm mad he could have depreciated. I'm sorry.
No, it's funny you guys.
I don't like the word. I can't believe he used that word.
I said that. No, I said the same thing. And you know what? He said depreciating assets. But my thing is this: you guys have depreciating assets too. What happened to your penis as you get older? It don't get as hard as it's supposed to.
You just said as we get older, though.
As
a
we
normal
get older,
body
our
function.
shit depreciates too.
He's not talking about that though. He's not talking about
is he talking
depreciating
about?
over time. He means depreciating with each sexual partner that you haven't had. That's not what he's talking about.
BS.
He's not. He's not talking about. He's not talking about you getting older.
I would never take. Okay, but first of all,
that's not what he's saying.
Okay, but I don't care, and I would never take my advice from a person like him anyway.
That's fine. It's not meant to. This, like I said, these are all opinions.
But our vajayjays don't depreciate. So that what that tells me, he doesn't know anything about the woman female anatomy.
What do you mean by depreciate? You mean like what do you mean by
you don't?
like, what do
Your
you mean?
vagina doesn't.
I'm assuming that you sleep
sweetheart.
with women to be able to make that type of assertion.
No, what I'm saying.
How can it? Wait a minute, but wait, Tammy. How can it? How? But you just said how it does. That's the whole point. It does depreciate once you start having sex, because that's why you don't get paid unless. That's why the father couldn't get paid for you unless you were a virgin.
Okay, first of all, but that's BS. But that's BS. Okay, but that's bullshit, though.
But you gotta understand too why that was.
No, like
But
a lot of
do you
things. No. Listen, a lot of things were bullshit. Just like a lot of things right now are bullshit. That was bullshit.
So why was it bullshit that a woman had to be a virgin? Why is that bullshit?
No, I didn't say it was bullshit because you have to be a virgin. But you just said with each man that you have sex with, your vagina depreciates.
I did not say that.
Not true.
I said I was going off of what he said. I said that's not how he's saying it.
That's not true. So he don't know what the heck he's talking about.
Because you don't understand too, though. Because you gotta even go like
body count does matter for both men and women.
Especially
body
because, like you said, you make it
in a sense. No. Let me tell you something. I know somebody. Let me tell you. I have a lot of male friends and a lot of female friends as well. And first of all, I've never had a child come out of my vagina in my life. And I've known people who have. And guess what? I know somebody who said he was with a woman that had 6 of them. 6 out of her vajayjay. And her stuff was still great, tight, whatever. Now
again, the six are the same 6, and they all got the same. They all got the same daddies.
Does that matter?
Hang on, y'all.
You sound crazy.
Hey, hang
I
on,
just
y'all.
want to know.
Hi, Denise.
Denise here. Let's say hello to Miss
Hello.
Denise.
Hi,
hello. Hi. I
you
just
sound crazy whether it's the same person or not.
How?
You sound crazy. We talk about scientific. Scientifically, if it wears out, it wears out, right? It doesn't matter.
What about the soul ties? What about the soul ties attached to it?
We get the soul ties. Well, how does that stretch out your vagina? I'm still trying to figure out
because you're looking at it now because you're looking at it.
Nobody's.
But I'm saying I'm just saying we're diving, Tammy. We're just diving deeper past the physical part of it. That's why. That's all. We just unpeeling the layers.
I ain't never heard nobody soul ties stretch.
Because again, what you got to remember.
But that's not what this little 20-year-old son boy was talking about. You sit up here talking about like he knew the gospel and that ain't what he was talking about. That's what you talking about.
Y'all taking it to the.
Yeah, all right. You're right. All right.
Well,
I'm just saying.
That's okay, but you know what I'm saying. That's what you talking about. That ain't what that little boy was talking about.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of that. Well, that's the whole point of this. Just us coming together. Everybody kind of like
he was making in the clip is
all right.
that.
Hey, Denise, girl, we finna ask you what your opinion is. I need another woman. No, I'm just like.
Hey, I was trying to hold on a second. I'm trying to get my headphones.
Get your headphones together.
Man, it's warm in this garage, but I want to open the door, but I know it might be cooler outside. Well, it's 6:30. Hold on, it might be cooler.
Okay.
Yep, and anybody else in the back chat you want to bring over there, you already know me. They more than welcome.
Okay.
They more than welcome.
I came through because I was like, I can't find it on YouTube to see what y'all was actually talking about.
I put a YouTube link in the back chat.
I know. Well, I didn't see that one. I saw just the StreamYard.
Okay, I'll put it back there again right now.
Okay.
But no, basically the conversation is what I posted earlier, and you said no. Like, should the Bible still be used as a standard for dating and engaging relationships in today's society? And then I played I played that same Lisa Ray clip, and I played this Fresh and Fit clip right here. I'm gonna put it back on again. Let me back it up and find out where it was. Let me get back to where I was at real quick. Because oh boy is just cold with it. Let me see. It was the girl with the purple hair.
I
Was
don't think
talking.
he just cold with it. It's you could be cold with it, but you gotta be right. But
He
you
was
could
cold.
be
Well,
loud. You
cold
could be
with it. I
loud
don't
and
mean cold
wrong.
with it like he was on point. I mean he was just like
Okay.
cold, like ooh, that's
I'm just
cold.
saying. I'm just saying you could be loud and wrong a lot.
Let me see if this is where.
No, for real, because now niggas do nice things, they friends clowning them, and they just don't be wanting to do it because they feel like they gonna get played. When I feel like men are supposed to be men, and they're supposed to treat their women. They have a part to play in the Bible. Like, what's going on? Men want to be taken out and all this other stuff. Like, you a man. Like, be a man. Like,
Man, hold on. You want a man in the Bible, so that's a traditional man, correct?
yeah.
But modern day women aren't traditional themselves. Why can't they be traditional?
It's the generation now.
Mute your mic, Timothy.
No. It's the generation that we in. And men, I feel like men stop valuing women and appreciating their women and making sure that their women is straight. Period. You hear her talking about the husband cheating on the wife and all this other stuff. And
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna find the other part that goes with it, so I can talk about how you feel about that, Denise.
I could barely hear. It was like echoing a lot. But I heard saying that basically it needs to be a level of respect and cherishing. But that's it kind of is, but it's kind of a new concept at the same time. Like although before they respected, they kind of respected the position, right? Even if they didn't respect the person. So they
Oh my God, that's
they
on point.
respected the position that the person was in, meaning this is the wife. So, when she asks for things, she can get it. She come first. It's the family unit. You do stuff for the unit type thing. But they didn't really respect her as a person, the person behind that title that they gave. You know what I'm saying? So they may cheat, they may do this, they may do that. In the same way, the wife kind of respected her duties, as a wife. These are her duties, and sometimes dealing with them going outside of the marriage and stuff was part of that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's still the unit, your unit was still good and she was still good. So it was kind of like something you took with it. It's different now when you have somebody, okay, if I'm pulling in, half the way, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing the other, and then you have the audacity to cheat. It's like, excuse me?
Right. No.
I can find
Yes.
somebody else.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? What do you mean?
Yes.
You're
Yes.
not doing enough for me to deal with that.
I agree with you. Denise.
Hey,
'cause
everybody in the
feel
chat.
like
I want
if you pulling
to
in,
give a shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. I'm sorry, Tammy. Thank you, everybody that's in the chat. I appreciate you. If you want to come on the show, click on the StreamYard. The link is right in the is pinned in the comments.
yes, because if you one of them 50-50 dudes, you really had a nerve to cheat if you don't knock it off.
So it's also if he was like pulling it in, it's cool. Okay, from the cheek or what? What you saying?
I wouldn't say it's okay, but I would say it's something that you can learn to deal with. It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something that. Listen, it's gonna be something that comes with it. When I was with me and my child's father, who's like my husband, we were together. It would have been harder on me, and it didn't be harder on me, to be a single mother than to be with him and have our household and him step out every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
As long
so
as it wasn't no
it's better
relationship,
to,
so you wasn't taken from the house to go do the shit. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't even know it was being done. You feel me? But for me to be snooping and trying to do shit like that, it would have been too much. We had too much of a good thing going as far as taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. So
better to cry in the Mercedes Benz than a Honda Accord, right? I get it. I feel it.
It ain't even a cry, because I'm still
shit, if
doing
I gotta cry,
I'm doing what I gotta
cry.
do. It's not even a cry. It's just, you can respect me enough to not have it come to the house. Respect me enough to it not be in my face. Respect it enough to not just be so sloppy that you really just don't care about your family unit at all. I might not
So
even
it's
know
like
what's going on till way later.
Is that like an unwritten, almost like hall pass, kind of like an unwritten
I
You
mean,
know.
yeah, because just
I
like when
think
they
for
said,
some
don't
But here's the
say
thing. But here's my
unless
thing. But here's my thing.
unless
Here's
you
my
gonna
thing.
do
But
something.
here's my thing though. Because like me, like I'm 36, and I can honestly say this, like even at 36, I've never been involved with more than one woman intimately, like sexually. Like it's always been one at a time. So even I feel like even if I was in a situation like married, and even if my wife was like, yeah, it's cool, not saying it per se, but you know, like okay, like you just said, if I had an understanding, like you just said, say before me and my wife got married, and I understood that she, like what you just said, all right, well, you handling all the business that just don't put it in my face. It's like even if I was like, all right, well, as long as she don't see it, okay, I would still be like, feel like you should know. You know what I'm saying? Like I just slept with somebody. Like I'm sorry, I
Wait,
just
she
like
should know what? She should know what? You
that.
just
I
slept
just
with somebody
that I feel
for
like
what?
that's me. That's me. Like I'd be like, hey, like I don't know if I would be able to
And
do
are
it.
you okay with getting it back?
What if she went? No, hold on. You talking about if she went in?
Yeah,
No,
like
but she said,
okay,
"Are you
so she
okay with
stepped
But
getting it
out
but
back?"
and she
again,
tells
but
you, she comes and says, hey, yeah, I was out chilling today and ended up, whoopie
but
wooing with
that's a
my
little different
friend.
because you just said the reason and why you would be okay with it is because what if I'm
Because
sustaining
she
things
said he
100%,
paying all the bills. Yeah.
100%, right? Because you're saying okay, he's paying 100% of the bills, and you should feel like it's okay or not as bad when you do it. But then if you go do it, it's like, well, why are you doing it? Because
Well,
just
yeah,
because
okay,
I'm
yeah,
doing
you're
it.
saying in that same instance, yeah. But
That's all
see,
I'm
with
saying.
that,
Like,
I
wait
feel
a
like
minute.
it's an unwritten thing
But
because to
women,
say
I
it
mean,
would be
women.
disrespectful. To say
But
it
you
would be not
but you just
respecting
said,
No,
but
but you're
it's
anything
saying
that you're
so
on.
women
but
have
you kind of
no.
but you kind of okayed it
But you're
though when you
saying how
said you didn't
women
want.
no. But what you're
Yeah.
saying is women have no reason to cheat ever, and that's not true.
No, no,
I didn't.
no.
Women
He's
cheat
No,
talking
because
I
they
about
didn't
in
say
no.
that.
that.
I
He's
get
talking
it, but
about
you
in
just
that
said,
instance. In an instance
yeah.
where
But
you're
if
at
you
home
tell
taking
me,
care of the home, and he's out, working and doing
What if
everything. In
he's
that
not
kind
giving
of
you no D?
instance,
What if the D is whack and it's
oh
weak and
my
it's getting and
god.
it's starting to
But that's
but then that's well,
yeah.
then it's not something.
diminish?
That's something you
What's the
need. Does he
word?
know
Wait,
that?
what's the word? No, what's the word that dude use? What is it
It's not
called? It's
giving.
starting
I
to
don't know.
depreciate. It's starting
Oh,
to
but here's
depreciate.
the thing, though. But here's
That's
the
it.
thing.
What
But
if
there's
the
still.
penis is starting to depreciate?
Okay, do you mean like how you guys start to
It
appreciate
ain't
more when
it
y'all go
ain't
through
getting as
menopause and
hard.
yours start
It ain't getting
yours?
as hard as it does anymore.
But you just wait a minute. But
It
if
ain't
you
taking
but
me where I need
hold
to
on.
go.
So isn't that the same thing like when y'all go through menopause? Don't y'all
I
start
mean,
to
but
kind of like
y'all ain't having sex with menopausal
but
age
wait a
women.
minute, wait a minute. No,
Y'all
no, no,
are
no, no.
not.
No, no,
I don't
no.
know about
No, no.
you.
Earlier you
You
just
might be dating
Tim,
Bertha, but I
Tim,
don't know.
Tim, as Tim is my witness before Denise just got on this
What did I
call,
say?
you
What did I
earlier
say?
said that the coochie does not depreciate. Did you not say that?
It does not. It does
You,
not.
but the dick does if it can't get hard, but yours don't if it can't get wet no more. What?
Well,
How does
first of
that?
all, I mean, I don't know about. Okay, well, I guess I'm 42. I'm 41, and
Hey,
my
Isaiah.
vajayjay gets
Hey,
as the same as
Isaiah.
it was when it was when
Isaiah,
I was
I guess
21.
what they
Yes,
saying is
baby.
that I guess it goes both ways because for men they got pills and for women they got, as Chris Rock say,
Right,
lubrication.
exactly. So
But my point.
you
Okay,
can
but
get past that
my
though.
point
But
is
you can
this.
get past
Okay, but
that.
my
You can
point.
get past that. You can get
Okay,
past that.
my
Now,
point is this. My point is this. Y'all depreciate, and maybe that's probably why some women cheat is because he ain't, that thing ain't thinking the way it used to think.
But you gotta understand though. But as I said, there's things you can do to get past that. There are different practices, there are different herbs and stuff, and natural remedies a man can go through. That's really, honestly, that's a health thing though. That depends on his health a lot of times. There are men out there.
Messed up because we like, you know what? That's a health issue.
They would just talk. Miguel Nunez, or what's that dude name?
Oh, I
That
love
played
him. I love him.
that played Joanna Man. That played Joanna Man.
I love him. The
They
comedian.
said
Him.
They just showed this little reel. And he revealed how old he was. He said, yeah, he's like 58, 60 years old. And he said, he's like, everything with me still worked just fine because he said, I take care of myself.
He grabbed her. He met my mom and he pretended like he was going to grab her boobs.
Hey, I would shoot if I was your mom.
It still work. I mean, but
He
the thing
pretended
is,
like
if
he
the
was gonna
thing
grab
ain't
her
thinking, I don't know if they gonna be cheating if it ain't thinking at home.
If that thing ain't thinking at home.
Yeah, I don't think they gonna be cheating. So I mean,
Well,
basically,
no,
sometimes
what
it's
you're
a
saying
I'm
is
talking
that
about the
there's a lot
girl.
of
No, I'm talking about the woman. No, I'm talking about
because
the
I'm
so
saying
woman.
sometimes it's a give or take thing. Like you gotta, sacrifice some things to get other things. It depends on what is important to you. And to
Okay.
me, if we building and our house is running smoothly and
I
everything
feel it.
else, a little tale over there that you did that one night and came
Oh,
home and whatever the
okay.
fuck is not going to
She
break
not
all of the shit
okay.
that we
This
built.
is a
That
mature
makes no
woman.
sense.
now, Denise, what if he offsets the pH balance in your swimming pool? Now,
Well,
Ooh,
no,
I'm gonna kill his
that's
ass.
not respecting my position because he should have had a condom on.
Oh
Thank you.
shit, he said she
Oh
ain't
my
got
God.
no
Thank you. Oh my
nipple.
God, Denise. If you were in this, if I could see you right now, I'll give you a high five. You're right, because he's not respecting exactly. Like, how you gonna throw my shit off, yo?
Like, I
Well,
mean, you should at
oh,
least
see that,
still respect your
and that's what I'll
home.
be
You're not
saying.
bringing none of this shit home. You're not bringing home
Yeah.
kids. You're not bringing home diseases.
No, it
You're
has nothing
taking,
to.
you
Yeah.
still got to
but
respect
look,
your home,
you heard her say they're
regardless
not
of
bringing
that.
home kids, but she'll bring home a baby and swear that is his. Though, like,
Yeah,
I'm pregnant.
that's
I'm
still
pregnant.
disrespectful. That's disrespecting your home.
That
Hey,
is
so if
that
y'all
man,
gonna do,
disrespectful.
okay, let me ask
that
y'all this
man,
question then.
that man
If
be
y'all
right in
gonna
the
do all that,
hospital catching that baby like it's his.
I didn't say I would be okay with any of that, but I'm understanding where she's coming from. I ain't never put up with none of that. So
I'm gonna clip this part, and I'm gonna hope it go viral of women justifying cheating.
I'm just saying, no, whatever. I'm just saying, I've never put up with it before, but I'm just
It's
saying
just
I
that
understand where
some
she's coming
men,
from.
yeah, because some men hear about women who are like who stayed in relationships or even in the past that have stayed in a relationship where a man was found to have did this or did that, and it's like, well, she didn't leave, but you left, Jamie over there for cheating, but Jamie wasn't doing everything that Timothy was doing for her when she decided that it was better for her to stay than leave. With you, it's like this is the last straw type thing when you're ready to up and leave somebody for that. It was more going on. You know what I'm saying? That's the last straw. But a lot of people put that emphasis on just sex. I don't think that, because he, fell into some pussy that night over there is really worth giving up all of the stuff we done built. Because if I'm with you, we building. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have businesses. We're going to have money. We got a bank account. We got house. We got goals. We reaching them. That little shit is not going to offset and tear down everything we have built.
What if, okay, so why, if you don't do all that, not be cool, why not just bring her on like full time? You know what I'm saying? Add some more income.
No, I'm
There
understanding though. I mean, that's not really my that's not really my get down.
Okay. Now to the point of the show.
So how much he got to hold on, wait.
Hang on,
So
Isaiah. Y'all are talking about non-traditional things, which is
we are talking about non-traditional.
Right. We got to go back, bring it back
no,
to the Bible.
That's no, that's gonna be his rebuttal. Let me bring it up.
You guys mentioned a bunch of traits that traditional men exhibit. Modern day women are not traditional. Are any of you guys virgins? Exactly.
Wait.
Hold on. No. Because if we're gonna put the standard on men that you want them to pay bills and be masculine and protect you, whatever, let's go all the way. You guys cannot expect a traditional man while you absolve yourself of traditional feminine responsibilities, because that's a bad deal for the man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So none of you are virgins. Okay. How many of you are good cooks and have a recipe book or whatever it may be?
Recipe book? See, I feel like it's different now.
Only the wife does.
Yeah, the wife does.
So, I feel like that used to play a part.
Let me continue. Because if we're gonna have, like I said, and you'll be able to rebut this, but the point I'm trying to make is that women cannot hold men to traditional standards, not be traditional themselves, and then expect a man to pay full price for a depreciating asset. I'm gonna say that again. You cannot be non-traditional women and want the man to be traditional on his side and pay full price for a depreciating asset that isn't traditional on his end.
How y'all feel about that? Bang that.
I think it's absolutely true.
Tammy said, Cordier, y'all don't depreciate, so.
I mean, no,
It doesn't,
I said,
but it's
first
not
of
about
all,
the
I said,
depreciation.
no, I said you guys depreciate as well. No, I don't like the way he worded that. I don't like the way he talking about women depreciate. I'm like, nigga, y'all depreciate too. Your penises don't get as hard as they supposed to. A lot of stuff happened to
Your
men.
looks fade, your health
Your
fade,
looks fade, your health fade, all kind of stuff.
But see, that's
fade.
everybody, and see,
that's right. That's a natural occurrence.
Right, but that's the point. That's the point.
Works just
But
fine.
I don't necessarily
but
think
as far as the
the
traditional,
poom poom was the asset he was talking about that depreciated.
But the traditional part in there also, I mean, they take away the fact that men had to pay for that as well.
But then that fool said, no. But then that fool said, y'all won't. Okay, no, that fool said what I can't understand is he said, okay, y'all want traditional men. Y'all want a man that's masculine. So being traditional means being masculine. So is that hard to be masculine, my nigga? Like, I don't know.
Well, he was saying that women say that they want the traditional man that's going to provide, protect, and be masculine. He was just naming off traits like they were saying. And then he says, well, what do the men get in return? Are we getting feminine women? Are we getting submissive women? Are we XYZ cooks and all of that? No. So,
but I think that
if a traditional biblical standard of what a man is supposed to be is going to be applied to men,
I don't think anybody.
He's saying that it should be fair for men to apply the same biblical standard.
And that's the thing, Tim. I don't think anybody wants that traditional biblical person in that sense. I don't think any of us want that. Really.
But what I'm saying is that
real.
in the Bible, when they was marrying them virgins, they was paying them like $1,000, $10,000, $15,000.
Cows, just getting cows, goats, chicken, lamb.
So they was paying them,
and they was laying
yeah,
there
they was paying them, and they were getting vetted. They were getting vetted and everything by the father, by the family.
And see, that's the thing, and that's a whole nother thing too.
Wait, but Tim, they was laying like starfish too. They didn't do nothing. They were laying like
they wasn't doing nothing.
The virgins were laying like starfish.
You could think they wasn't doing nothing.
What the hell? What did you do? What did you do?
They could have.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Maybe not that first night when she thought he was musty and he stank, but over time.
Exactly.
Over time,
nobody doing that. Exactly. Come on.
Man,
what do y'all wait?
Hey, look,
so y'all telling me that y'all telling me that hang on. So y'all trying to tell me that the way y'all get down now is the same for when you was a virgin, or y'all learned something and got a little better over time with some practice?
Yes, but y'all called us. But he said no. But he said we depreciate it though. He a damn.
She triggered by that.
But wait a minute,
she triggered by that.
But what if?
Let Percy who came in salute the Percy. You got something to say,
Hi,
Percy?
Hello, Percy.
Yo,
real. Okay, sorry, Percy. Real quick, but he a damn lie because I got better as the years went on. But anyway, go ahead.
All right.
But that's the point. You got better. You wasn't always a starfish. You wasn't always a starfish. But go ahead, Percy.
Right, but that fool said we depreciate it. But anyway, go ahead, Percy.
Nah, I got to catch up. So y'all can't keep on.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and so Neo was in the chat earlier, and he made
not that Neo, not the Neo we think the cheating Neo.
Not the singer.
No.
No, I know the fuck he ain't in this
in the Bible, when a man divorced his wife, unless she was cheating, he divorced her. If a man divorced his wife, he couldn't get married again. Y'all don't want that.
Damn, y'all don't want that either. There you go. See,
where's that at? Where's that at? I gotta look at that one. I gotta look at that one. I gotta look at that one.
As far as that.
But they said as many women as you lay down with, that's your wife, right?
Again, it depends. Like
they were vetted by her.
Were you a virgin?
By her father.
Were you a virgin when you guys
No.
Hey,
I'm not talking about when you're a virgin. I'm talking about
Tamar sold it for some goats. She
I'm
sold it.
saying
she did it for what?
Yeah.
A staff and some
No,
bracelets.
that was the
No,
collateral.
But she was a
saying,
widow.
That was the
okay,
collateral.
y'all.
No, it was for a goat. It was for a
Okay,
goat.
y'all are tripping.
That
I'm
was for a
saying
goat.
men. No, I'm saying
He wasn't, but he
men.
wasn't gonna bury his dead son's freaking
No, he was
what?
he was supposed to give her to his other son.
Yeah, his
Who?
brother is
He was
supposed to
slow
marry
as
her.
fuck
Oh,
for that.
Tamar, y'all talking
But
about in the
when
Bible. Okay.
in the Bible, yeah, but in the Bible,
That's
yeah,
why,
but you
yeah,
were
y'all need to
always
just go on and put that. Y'all need to just go on and put
guaranteed.
that down
You were
because
guaranteed a husband. You were guaranteed a husband and a family unit, though. The woman was
Yeah,
like
somewhere. Yeah,
guaranteed to be taken
exactly.
care
You
of.
were exactly. You were guaranteed a roof, some shelter, some food, all that stuff. Like,
some
but
good
again,
dick. No, were we
it,
guaranteed good dick too?
look, understand what? Are you guaranteeing? Are you guaranteeing some good? You know what? Too like what? Like I mean, come on.
Are we? Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah,
Absolutely.
actually,
And
y'all
that's
were.
subjective. And that's
Absolutely.
subjective. That's subjective because you might feel like that, but what if he don't feel like that?
Well, I don't know. I never had no complaints. But
Well,
okay.
They was virgins.
Well, they was.
The girls were.
Well, I mean, virgin for JJ is not always the best for JJ. I've heard guys that say they don't like virgin for JJ because it's too tight.
Well, I mean, if
Only
it's going to
men-
be well, here's the thing though. But if you was married a virgin, I mean, it's gonna lose. I mean, you gonna keep hitting it, and it ain't gonna always be that tight. So I mean, unless you just trying to hit it once, like
It's not
That's
gonna stretch. No, some people don't stretch out like that.
well,
That's
I don't
my
know.
point.
That is
It doesn't
true.
stretch out. Some people don't
Sometimes
stretch
it
out
hurts
like
every
that.
single time, but they got
Mhm.
spacers for that. They got spacers for that and things
Oh,
like
they got
that. to help out with
spacers.
that.
Oh,
Spacers?
Yeah.
we gotta have this conversation. I've never had a spacer.
A spacer? What does a spacer do?
So
does it
you
make
can
space for?
open the vagina
A
if it's
spacer.
too
It
small.
helps so that
If it's too small.
it opens it a little bit. So it's like you put it in there and it's like usually about 10 or 15 minutes like before you're about to do it. You can put a spacer in there and it'll help so it
Like
doesn't
a
hurt so much
okay.
when it goes in.
Like a butt ring, like a little
So it's
butt
kind of like
thing
what they
too.
kind of try to do
Butt
with
plug,
the anal thing.
like a butt
Yeah, but
plug.
it's for
Yeah,
your
like a butt
vagina.
plug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a
That
butt
was
plug.
not this way from the beginning.
Who got butt plugs?
Tells
butt
everyone.
plug?
That's Neo.
Right,
I don't have any of those.
I'm just looking at the comments right now.
What are the comments are saying? Are they think
Put it up
they think we're
there.
crazy?
Come up here, Neo.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Sandpit
It
Records.
says
Bring
Nerdy
it on
Nerdy
down.
Brew. I don't know who Nerdy Brew is. I don't know if that's
That's RJ.
okay. And then Sandpit Records. I don't know who
That's
that is.
Neo.
Sandpit Records is Neo.
Sandpit Records is Neo.
Well, click the link, Neo. It's in the back chat. Come on
I'm
up,
like,
brother.
that's RJ. That's Neo and then Tiffany.
Come on
Hi,
down.
everybody.
Hi,
Tell us all. Hold on. Got to put your hand in the camera. Hold on.
Where's Isaiah? He left us.
Isaiah, he either got a call or he got scared.
Yeah.
He ain't get scared. Isaiah don't get scared.
But I really don't think. Could you imagine somebody who was
There
like
he is,
that?
Neo Love.
Somebody who was like that in today's society.
Everybody,
They'll be
let's
taken
welcome
advantage
Neo
of left
Love.
and right.
Hi, Neo.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Good. When I first heard your name, I was like, is that the Neo, the cheating one?
Yeah, I heard that part. I'm like, damn, who did I cheat on?
Hey, Tiff. Tiffany is in the comments too. Hey, Tiff.
Oh.
Hi, Tiff.
This Neo never cheats. This one don't.
Okay, that's good.
I don't know how much of the show you didn't see, but we didn't kind of took I'm trying to keep it reeled in. Hey, Blessed B11 in the comments. Welcome. The topic is kind of like it was meant to be on. Should the standards of the Bible still apply to today, when the traditions of the Bible is not the same society we live in now? Like how women used to be virgins and you had to pay a dowry and all of that, but there's a women expect men to uphold a certain standard when they don't fit the standard themselves of the traditional woman of the Bible, but they want men to fit the traditional standard of the Bible.
Right. I've been watching for a little while, and I think, to answer that question, I think the Bible standards are absolutely foolproof and proven, fail-proof and proven. The problem is not the Bible standards. The problem is our current society. The current society has made it to where it's damn near impossible to follow those traditions of the Bible. But the Bible wasn't, a lot of people look at it like it's just totally misogynistic, and it's for the man, and the woman gets nothing. But like I was telling Denise earlier, it's a lot of stuff it say about the man and hold a man accountable. As far as, he can't just go and put down a wife. Once you divorce a wife, once you marry a wife, the two become one flesh, and y'all are, bonded for life. Even in the case of the people who got another wife, a second wife or something, that was either a second wife or a wife after his first wife died. But when it came to divorcing, once you divorce that woman and you marry another woman, you're committing adultery.
Okay, well, I'm kind of concerned about the archaic type of traditions, like, oh, you can beat your wife. Stuff like that. I don't care what you're doing for me. You ain't gonna beat me.
Right.
So those are the issues I'm kind of more concerned about. Like, no, we should not, because modern solutions, modern problems, like I said, require modern solutions. So therefore, you're not gonna be beating on this woman, even if I don't care if I cheat on you. That gives you the right to beat on me. That's what the Bible says. You can beat your wife, right?
I'm not really sure on that one.
In the Old Testament, I believe it says that.
I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah.
That you could beat her with something like. Remember? Okay, I got it. Okay, I don't know. I gotta ask my mom, because I'm not a real Bible connoisseur, so I gotta ask.
Right, it was probably dealing with Leviticus and the laws. I'm pretty sure that's where it came from, because the laws was dealing with society, and it was a lot of stuff that it talked about. Like the Bible gave, Leviticus gave situations on what to do if a person was found that was raped, and it offends a lot of people today, and I get it. Like it's a different time and everything. We don't understand that, but the Bible wasn't saying it's okay to rape people, and that's how people took it, just because it gave laws and consequences and what to do in this situation. It doesn't mean that it's okay to go rape people, and it may have given consequences and situations and stipulations on men who disciplining their wives or whatever, but I don't think it actually said you should beat your wife. You told Harper beat me type stuff. I don't think it said it. But when I talk about when I deal with the relationship standards, I'm not thinking about the beating part. I'm thinking about the plethora of other stuff that went along with it. The father having to give his permission for you to date his daughter and stuff like that. Right now, we are out of sync with that. Women and men going around giving themselves to each other irresponsibly. And if your parents had to choose your mate, 9 times out of 10, they're going to choose somebody that's going to be a lot more responsible than we would have picked when we was teenagers.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm not letting my parents choose my mate. So no, sir.
So Neo.
Yeah, my mama wouldn't get up a judge.
Yeah, no, sir.
You were saying it was infallible. So the part that says if your wife cheats on you, you have the right to go out and stone her in the middle of the road in the public, that's infallible?
No, that's what. Well, he just explained that. We just talked about that, because I said the same thing. You could beat your wife. That's what I was talking about.
Right, like even the stuff like that. What it was trying to do, it was trying to avoid all of the problems that we have today. Yes, it may seem harsh and everything like that. I get that part. I know what you're saying, but it's still proven to have relationships that lasted longer back then than they do right now. We can criticize the Bible all we want, but right now we have an epidemic of goddamn baby daddies, 30 baby daddies to one woman. One man got 8 baby mamas. Nobody like each other. They hate each other. They working against each other. Relationships are not lasting. And we're here talking about this because there is a problem in our community when it comes to relationships today. All those people that was on the show, they're on that show because it's a problem with society's current situation when it comes to dating.
Okay, but
Well,
does that
they
not
just came
prove?
out with a study that it was 70%. It was back up to 70% of households where children are being raised with both their parents.
That's
No.
different.
Oh wow! But does that not
That's
prove?
stepdaddy.
What I'm saying, but what I'm saying is, does that not prove that just because the Bible said this, and that, but guess what? A lot of people we're agreeing with. No, you shouldn't beat the crap out of your wife. No, you shouldn't do this. No, you shouldn't do that. So doesn't that kind of prove like
But
sometimes you
then
have
you
to
have to
adjust? You
understand.
have to adjust certain things. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, because back then I think it was like that because of the way their justice was. They didn't have court and they didn't
But our
have like
but our
the
justice is
so it's
different.
like you have
So
to
you
look
have to
at
adjust. You have to adjust,
yeah,
right?
but the consequence has nothing to do with the actual courting and dating system that they had, right?
Who
The
even know? I
system.
don't even think them
And
niggas courted
so
and
what
them
I was
niggas
about
did
to
not court and
say,
date.
what
They
I was
went
about to
and
say to Neo was that the thing is, in today's society, no, that system it worked well in that society because in that society they were all together. It was like a
I don't
family
even think
thing.
they courted and dated. I don't even think they courted and dated. I think it was more like I was watching the Golden Girls, okay? They were seeing each
Golden
other for
Girls.
girl, yes. Okay, and that was in the 80s, right? And they was old in the 80s. And let me tell you something. She went on like 5 dates with a man, and that was their courtship, okay? And that fool asked her to marry him. So it's not the same. So courting and dating is not the same as back then as it was now.
You think a TV show is a fair use of an example?
A little bit, because you know why? And I'm gonna say a little bit, and I'm gonna say a little bit only because even with our parents, ask your mama or your dad or whoever the oldest couple in your family is how long they courted and dated. They're gonna tell you, oh, we met each other, and they might have met each other when they was kids or whatever. But their courtship probably was 3 weeks until they decided they wanted to be married.
I found a clip of what Neo was talking about.
They were just trying to get mad.
Baby daddy.
You say
stuff.
what?
This is the problem this Neo is talking about. All these baby daddies and all that stuff.
Stand up. How many children?
28.
How many women?
16.
Terrence.
4
children. With
2 different women.
Yeah. Ryan.
Almost 5 children with 4.
Almost 5.
Yes,
now talk to me about an almost 5.
I have another baby due November 22nd.
So 4 children.
4 children.
How many mothers?
4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes.
And you got a baby on the way. Okay. And John?
6 baby mothers, 11 children.
11 children. And Jumani?
I have 6 children with 4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here's what I want us to get.
Man.
Right.
That just honestly, to me, I mean, I feel like that sounds like a y'all problem. Why y'all trying to just knock up everybody? That sounds like a man problem.
Not at all. Not at all. That was just that show. I mean, if you turn it around and do a show for women, it'll be worse. It'll be way worse.
No, it wouldn't, because I don't know too many people that have more than. Okay, I'm gonna be quite honest with you.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
too
don't
many
think it
people
would be
that have.
worse for women.
No, I don't think it would be worse for women. I don't know too many people that have more than 2 baby daddies.
That's you.
And I'm not saying that's a good thing, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it's kind of hard for a woman to have. You don't see like a lot of women having 6 kids, and then
with
a whole
six
bunch
baby
of
that
them 6 kids
with
or
six
6 baby
baby
daddies.
daddies.
But you might see 4 women with 2 kids and 2 baby daddies, which is
You
still a lot.
might.
But you're not gonna have the one baby daddy that got 5 women and a bunch of different babies in between them, and another baby daddy, and then they all the same age, and they all in the same.
Right. Ghetto twins.
Crazy.
They call the same age. That's called the ghetto twins.
But that's not even like a norm for men. They was taking the worst case scenarios, and even in those, the average was like 4 kids on that stage. It
But
wasn't
that's
like
still okay. But that's a
it
lot.
wasn't like it is a lot, but it's not 8 and 10. Like that's not a norm for men either. You know,
Mm-hmm.
4 is about the norm for everybody. 4 people, 4 kids for men, 4
4
kids.
kids is the norm for everybody. Oh Lord.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But
4?
Wait,
I would say,
she said 4.
I would say like the most. When I say the
Like
norm,
the
I mean like
norm?
the max.
Like
I'm not
like the
saying,
max? Yeah. It might be around the max. Medium. The
yeah,
medium
like
for
it's
men.
rare when they go over 4 kids on either side.
Mm-hmm.
You being,
I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to say black men that's the problem with black men, but I'm just saying it's more men that have that issue than women. Like we said, like I know most of the women I know, they got maybe 2 baby daddies at the most.
I
right.
think
So
it's
you don't
just
you don't
because
see the
it's what
problem.
I think it's just because they can, right? So the issue
Mhm.
is not only the women, not just the men,
Mhm.
but the women
Mhm.
too, because they can,
Right.
which will be a society issue, kind of. But
Mhm.
So let me ask the young lady, Tammy, do you see a problem with the current state of dating today?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What are the problems with them?
What are the problems with dating? Well, my
Yeah.
dating situation is a little different,
Mm.
but it is. It is. It's very different. But I'm gonna say I don't know. No. I
I'm
have to
just
say
kidding. I'm just
because
fucking with you. I'm just kidding.
I know no, because I see people making their little No, my little
Now we
dating
believe
said,
you.
oh,
We
here we
believe
go.
you.
We got Percy. We got Percy
We don't
trying to
believe you. You
chime
need
in
more
too.
people. You need more people.
Okay. Wait, I need more people.
We don't believe you, Tammy. We don't believe you.
What?
You need
I
more
don't
people.
care. I don't care. You don't have to.
I'm just talking with you. It's a rap line.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's okay. It's okay. But yes, there is a situation. There's a situation. And I feel the situation is I don't know. I just think I really don't know. I think that women have their issues, but men have their issues too. And it's not just the men, but it's the women too. So I'm not even gonna say it's y'all, just y'all.
Okay, well, the
Coach
reason I
Brody.
ask that because most of the problems with dating today would have been resolved if people were still following traditional standards when it comes to dating. Most of the problems that we face in dating today is caused by this current generation, this current way of
But I
living,
but I
modern
think
day.
that okay. But I also feel like change, right? Change is inevitable. It's inevitable. So when times change, things change. And like people have to change with the times. So you can't date the same as you dated in 1952. Because in 1952, a man making $50,000 a year and doing this, and that, I could stay at home. We could have a house. We could do this. We could do that. You know what I'm saying? That's not true at this time and age. So change is inevitable. You see what I'm saying? You have to change. You have to change with the times.
I can agree.
So, oh, I can't hear him now. Is he talking? You
No, that's
talking,
not good.
Coach? Oh, there you go. I can't hear you. You were far away.
All right, y'all can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
You can?
Yes.
All right.
We
So
can hear you
the thing
better.
about the Bible age and stuff like that is I think there's a difference between the moral standards, the cultural standards, and different legal things, right? And there are a few different things to keep in mind. One of those things to keep in mind was that in those days and age, oftentimes a woman would go from the authority of her father into her husband, but it would be authority that came along with a financial responsibility. But also a woman didn't really have a choice of who she was actually attracted to. Like when you look at the Bible, sexual attraction wasn't something that was even included in a woman's mindset or in the thought process. So it really, a lot of it was like a culturated prostitution, right? And that's the fact of it, right? And you also have to think about it like this. A woman who wasn't a virgin in the Bible wasn't really qualified to be a wife unless her husband died. Like if you look at, some people will say that
That's not really true, because we already went over that. We went over the fact that if you take a woman if you slept with a woman, that was your wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the point I'm getting to, right? But the thing was this, like when you hear like what Jesus said, and oftentimes Jesus would speak in parables and hyperbole in order to bring a greater level of condemnation, so people knew that they couldn't reach the full standard of the law. Like Paul said, that the law came not so that sin would stop, but so that sin would abound, so that every mouth would be shut. And it's one of those things where Jesus would say, the whole remarriage thing wasn't real. It's like the whole idea of the first man that a woman laid. See, I don't believe that sex itself 100% equals marriage, because if that's the case, then any woman who's had sex with a man and that man she had sex with the first time isn't dead, every man she had sex with afterwards is adultery.
Technically.
That's if people want to go super literal.
Alicia, where did Alicia go? I saw Alicia. I was just getting ready to acknowledge
Where did Alicia go?
Well, just getting ready to acknowledge her. Well, no, that was Denise that was gone.
And I think if we look at like Deuteronomy 22, like if we were to look at like Deuteronomy 22 about what a man would have to do, like if a man were to seduce a woman, the next thing he would have to do is he would have to go to her father, and if the father liked him or didn't like him, either way he would have to pay the virgin price, because there was an extra price that the father would get based off of the woman's virginity than the bride price, right? So if he paid the bride price and the father didn't like him and didn't want him to be her husband, her daughter's husband, his daughter's husband, then he could reject the man. He just had to pay the virgin price. So a lot of what's going on now is like a matter of, well, there is no dowry, 9 out of 10. There is no bride price. There is no virginity. So it's really more so a matter of a woman has her own money. She's not in her father's house. So the qualifications of a lot of the biblical laws around sexuality don't apply to this cultural day and age unless you want to be super literal. And if you're super literal, then every woman who's not a virgin isn't qualified to be a wife. She's only maybe qualified to be a concubine.
Well, no,
Exactly.
we are
Well, my dad
qualified
used
to
to
be a
say the
wife
same
if some man messed with us, because we his wife.
Well, you gotta understand too, we're not living in them times like he just said. So there's like
Exactly, and
there's
that
a
was my
room, there's
point.
gonna be a little room for like some margin of error, because again, like he said, we're not in our own land, we're not ruling. So there was a lot of things that might have been okay then, but within American standards and laws, it's not okay. But like he said,
I agree.
and like, but like he said, then that's why
Yeah,
we
like
said
I don't
earlier.
even,
Huh?
like I don't even look. I'm not looking for no virgin. Because
Right.
there's issues that could come with that.
Right. I dated a virgin not too long ago, actually, and like, it was cool. Like, it wasn't a bad experience or anything, but I kind of felt like in her mind, she felt like
pretty boring.
Well, here's the thing. Well, no, not
I'm
really.
sorry.
It wasn't boring. She was a really cool person. Like, she was like educated in school, master's program, had a lot going for herself. So not having sex with her was cool for me. Like I said, that's cool. It was just, I kind of felt like she kind of put all her eggs in basket with the virginity thing. But it's like, but that doesn't imply you can be a good mother. I don't even know if you can be a good mother or wife, friend, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That being a virgin doesn't imply other things. That's great though. Don't get me wrong. It's great. Like, we don't have to have sex. Like, I told her, like, we don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's because I be feeling like if we have sex and you're a virgin, consider the fact that you're a rarity now. I should be thinking I should wife you. You know what I'm saying? That's my mindset. Like, I don't want it to be like we're dating. I take your virginity and then and I'd be like, oh no, like, I'm thinking more
what
like,
if you end up
Hey, hang on real quick. Not to cut you off, Cam. Hang on. I just want to acknowledge. Hang on. Let's welcome Val, welcome Denise back, and welcome Alicia.
Hi,
Welcome.
Val.
Hey,
Welcome.
Hey, Alicia.
Yo, what up? What up? Who's this? Okay, all right, yeah, all right. But no, but like I was saying, like I don't really, like I was looking at it, like we don't need to have
What if
sex.
you what if you have sex with this virgin and you fall right on it and you be like, oh damn. Then what?
You know, there's
Well, then that,
like,
well,
the
like I
thing is
said,
that-
at that point, like I said, if it get to that point, then again, that's what I'm saying. If she a virgin, I have to keep that in mind that she is a virgin. You see what I'm saying? And she was a little
it
bit
don't matter
like,
if she's a virgin or not.
But her being a virgin
If
or
her
not, I don't even
if her
understand
pussy is loose.
the whole
but you
mother
just
thing
you just
or
said
anything
you, but
else.
you
Like
just.
you said, the mother thing and all of that.
What if her
She
pussy
could not be a
loose?
virgin and still don't know if she's a good
But
mother or not.
what did I say? But what did I say before that? I said I felt like she was trying to imply that because she was a virgin,
Right.
that was like the end all be all. That's why I said that. I didn't
Right.
say like, I'm just saying because she
Oh
was trying to
yeah,
make
like
it.
so it's like
Oh,
that's the big thing right now.
right, and
So
it kind of, and when you kind of think about it, she kind of has a right to feel that way, but at the same time, like I said, don't.
She got no right
I'm
to
gonna
feel
look
that
at
way.
it. I'm
I
gonna
don't
look at
like
it
that.
like I'm gonna just look at it like, okay, well, what else? You know what I'm saying? Like, because you could be a virgin, but you could be a dummy too. You know what I'm saying? Like that don't mean nothing.
Agreed.
Like
Agreed.
you could
And
be
you
a
could be
you could be a virgin.
you
You could be a virgin and still be sneaky or whatever. You could still be a virgin and do. That's why I was saying like,
You can
okay,
be a
you're a
virgin
virgin.
and
That's
not
cool.
be a good and not be a
I just
good
it's a
mate.
good way to kind of it's for me at least for somebody like me it grabbed my and it caught my it kept my attention for a little, you know what I'm saying? All right, like that, okay, I can see, because but but it got kind of awkward because one night like she started getting real sexual with me, but we didn't do it, but I'm kind of like it made me feel weird because I'm like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like
I'm trying to
I'm like,
respect what you said.
No, you know what's funny? I had a guy friend who dated a virgin. She was 26 years old, and I didn't.
And she was like 27. Oh, gross.
Yeah,
27.
I didn't think so. And they were like, no, and that's the thing. Like she used to do stuff, but just not go all the way.
And that's the thing,
Well, I
and that's
don't-
that's my
yeah,
thing
but
though
you gotta
too.
remember
Hold on.
when you're
Hey,
back when you was a virgin, you still wanted to do sexual stuff with people, just not have sex.
That's true. That's true.
Alicia and Val, y'all got anything to chime in?
I'm just kind of stepping in and out. I didn't quite hear the initial, topic. So, I'm just listening. I'm just listening to that.
So we gonna go back to the original topic, y'all.
So they no, well,
I'm trying to figure out how we got on the virgin stuff.
I don't know.
Girl,
I just heard
just talking
some, and I'm
about
cooking.
Well, we're just talking about like. No, we got on the virgin stuff because we're talking about like biblical, like dating and stuff like that. So that's
Hey,
how.
they didn't even
Society
date in the biblical
comments.
time. They didn't even date
Hey,
back then.
Society in the comments. Hey, Honey Clark. Appreciate
Yeah, I
everybody
did.
for
They
coming
didn't
on.
date. I don't think they dated.
They
I
didn't.
don't think they dated. I think they met each other and then went and got married.
They was. I mean, you had different.
I thought families. I thought the parents set that up. I didn't think they actually.
And
It was more the families.
Val, they was talking about me
They're,
when
but
I
they, but
said
they're
I watched
different.
the episode. No, they was talking about me when I said I watched the episode of the Golden Girls, and that's how they did it. They was like dating somebody for 3 weeks, and they was like, oh, okay, well, he wants to get married.
Oh no!
But that wasn't always the
that's
case.
scary
But
for
that
me.
wasn't always the case, though. In the Bible, that wasn't always the case. That you married somebody that was betrothed to you or somebody that your parents chose. That wasn't always the case. It was typically done like that, but that wasn't always the case. Like there was.
Typically that was the norm.
It was.
Yeah,
but for some
that'd
people
be a little
like
scary
Jacob,
for me.
yeah. So yeah, like Jacob, he didn't have an arranged marriage with, there was an arrangement, but that's a whole other thing. But there's different circumstances that could happen to where that's not always the case, but it was typically how things were done.
I'd say that the one of the best things to do really is for me personally. I look at it from a standpoint of you have to actually be vet for compatibility, right?
Right.
Because in this day and age, it's not one of those things where you just go off the comparative value. Because one, even if a woman said she was a virgin, women are a lot more active now, right? So she could have just been playing soccer and broke her own hymen, or she could have had a sex toy, broke her own hymen. So there is no proof of it. Back in the day, if you didn't have proof of virginity upon the wedding night, the consummation of their marriage, the woman would be stoned to death.
Yeah.
And there's no.
You got
there's
women
no,
like I was told, like, yeah, like you said, some women like accidentally, like,
you can use a tampon and break your hymen. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly.
I was
like,
using tampons when I was 14.
I don't know why.
What? What you mean you don't know why, bitch? Because I be like blood leaking all over my panties.
Girl, I would bust my hymen with no damn tampon if I wasn't fucking already.
Girl, bye.
Hey.
Tampons were the best thing I've ever experienced in my whole entire life. No, I'm just saying tampons are the best thing ever.
We are not talking about blood dripping down people's legs right now, all right?
Tampons are the best thing I've ever experienced in my whole life.
No,
I think another thing to talk about too is this: the social contract around sex is dead, and I think that's a very important thing. And I think right now a big part of the issue with modern dating is that men are acclimating in being in a society where women have to actually be sexually attracted to you to want to have sex with you. Either that, or you're gonna have to be a trick. It's one of the two. And I think that
Amari, so
men are acclimating.
Amari, to what we were talking about before. So do you think that is? Do you think that is?
Wait. I like what he just said. Hold on.
But that goes back to the point. So Brody, do you think that it's
background is that
for women to hold men to a traditional standard?
Let me go inside
and then not reciprocate the same standard that they from that era?
I don't think it's for men to really care what women have to say. It's like you say what you want to do, and if she don't want to do that, you tell her to kick rocks or open toe shoes.
Right.
With open toe shoes.
Yeah, with some Jesus sandals on.
Fucking barefoot.
Not the Jesus sandals.
Tell her to kick rocks with some Sparta sandals on.
And then we tell him
kick them bare feet. What's that?
And we tell him the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's why y'all gotta have to be on the same page. That's where communication come in at. No, but hey.
But I will say this right here too. I think in this day and age, women also have to acclimate to the fact of what I call overstimulation, which is where when you have more experience before you meet the person who you're going to build your life with, if all your sexual experiences or your primary sexual experiences before you met your partner are so much better than them, it's going to be difficult for you to value and respect them the same way. And
say that again. Say that again. I'm sorry. Say it one more time.
Once you've been exposed to great sex, having mediocre sex, no matter how good the person is to you, it's going to be difficult to respect them.
Right.
Well,
because you're going to be thinking about.
No, I can respect anybody, but I'm saying, well, we like great sex too. It's not just about men. So we like.
But again, no, but he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the woman. I'm talking about, like, for the women, it's difficult when you overstimulate it. Like, let's say I call it the gentleman gigolo complex, right? It's like a man's Madonna complex, right? It's where a woman's best sexual experiences a lot of the times will typically be with the most toxic man she comes across. So that means that the man who actually wants to love her and be traditional is automatically going to be kind of that boring dude to her. So that means that the men who were traditional had to acclimate to understanding that that's how you'll often be seen and treated, even if the woman tells you that that's what she wants. That's why you don't listen to what they say.
So I don't listen to what
But all of
say.
this came with the territory. This is all part of it. But this new modern way of doing things, that's what comes along with it. This overstimulation and everything like that they're talking about. It comes along with breaking away from the old tradition and going with the new way.
But I will say this, though. There's an ounce of prevention and a pound of cure, and there has to be a pound of cure, because you can't put the cat back in the bag. Like, once that woman has that vaginal orgasm for penetration, you can't put it back in the bag and she go back to dealing with little Peter Whacker. You know what I mean? It's like, unless that's what gave it to her, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. You know, you're going after the cause. I'm saying if you were following the Bible traditions when it came to dating and everything along those lines, she wouldn't be in that situation. She's only in that situation by doing it the way this current society has told her to do it. And she's trying to fix something that should have never been broken in the first place.
Yeah, but for most 99% of the time, that's how it's gonna go. So it's like, are we gonna sit here and cry over the past? Like it's like telling a woman, having kids is baggage, and she a single mother. Well, it's too late. You want her to kill her kids now? You want her to go take them out to the river?
Well, yeah, the whole story about the way they did the time versus the way they date now. No, I'm not saying that they're doing it this way. No, of course they're not. But the whole premise of the show was comparing the old way of dating versus the current way. And I'm saying there was nothing wrong with the old way of dating. It actually was healthy relationship-wise. This new way of putting up relationships that nobody's putting together.
Somebody's background is like I can hear, but somebody's background is like
it's like
too
little
loud.
kids. It's like little kids in the background. Who got little kids in their background?
No, but I agree, Dio, to a certain extent. You know what I mean? But I guess I look at it as a matter of just what it is and not what it should be. You know what I mean? Because like I'm not gonna come across, and I'm not looking to come across a virgin, because I think you're more likely to get manipulated and taken advantage of by being more focused on what somebody says versus focusing on how they treat you and how your compatibility is in the moment when you actually in their presence. And I feel like
you got Negro spirituals playing in the background where you at?
That's James Brown. I guess you can count that as a Negro spiritual.
Okay, I knew I could hear something.
Wait, who playing James Brown?
It's just wherever he is, he in a restaurant or something. Maybe I don't know.
That's funny.
But that's just like what I said earlier, that with the virgin chick I was dealing with, same thing. Like, don't be so caught up on what she's saying and what she is. Like, I need to see what type of a person you are. You know, like at the end of the day.
And to me, I'd rather vet for compatibility than take somebody's word on a lack of experience, because sometimes
exactly,
like
right,
and this is fucked up. This is fucked up. But a woman's not going to include her rapist in her body count.
No.
Real shit.
She ain't.
Well, a man
and
is
then,
not
and
gonna
then like even
no,
when
a man no, but a man is not gonna men are only okay with like revealing their body count because people have made it okay for men to be like, oh yeah, I've been with 1,000 women, like, you know what I'm saying, Wilt Chamberlain. But for a woman, if a woman said I've been with 1,000 men, let me tell you, if a woman says she's been with 1,000 men, y'all be like, ugh, that's so disgusting. Like, she would probably be the biggest. I don't care if she was the most beautiful woman in the world. Y'all be like, ew, that shit is fucking disgusting.
What you need 1,000 dicks for?
Huh?
So what you need 1,000 dicks for?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's cool to sleep with 1,000 women either. I also don't think that's cool. But I'm not judging based off the body.
But I'm just saying, when you make that comment, oh, a woman is not going to reveal her body count, and the reason why is because people have made her ashamed to reveal it.
No, he didn't say that. No, he said that.
Just the same
no,
thing.
he said it. No, he said that you guys will include a rape in your body count. He didn't say it all. He said you guys
you're not gonna what?
He said you guys won't include being raped as part of your body count, basically. Like, you won't count that as a body count.
Yeah, I don't think you should either. You know, I'm just saying. What I'm saying is this right here. Now I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna break down that body count thing real quick though. It's a visceral disgust. It's misandry. It's not about judging and trying to control women. People are going to have a certain reaction to someone who sleeps with men because men tend to be carriers of diseases, and they can also give babies. So like bisexual women do not want to date bisexual men most of the time because men who have sex with men have higher rates of sexually transmitted infections. It's a biological thing. It's hardwired in their mind. So, you know, the same way that, so it's not a matter of...
Wait, who's talking right now?
It's Coach Brody. It's not a matter of judging a woman for sleeping with men, because women get celebrated for sleeping with women, just like men get celebrated for sleeping with women. Whoever sleeps with men has their past scrutinized.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That's true.
Because, and I'm gonna say it's like this, because P, I say like this: V equals V, P equals P or P, right? Like vagina equals value, right? But penis equals either provision or power. which means that either this person had the ability to overpower you to the point of taking you to a place of pleasure that you can't take them, the next person can't, or they provided something and you were in such a state of needing the funds or needing the validation that you are willing to allow a person to enter you. So it's like the whole concept of judging a woman on her body count. It's like, let a man do the same thing with the same people she's doing it with. He's gonna get judged worse than she is.
That's true. I have to agree with that one.
But I don't really care about the whole body count shit though. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, okay, I thought you were talking about the whole body count thing. I'm like, man.
No, I was talking about it, but I don't care about it. But the reason I don't care about it is because I know I'm competitive out here. But it takes experience to be competitive. If a man like a man has a certain amount of time to gain some experience, he has a certain amount of time. It's like one man's gonna spend his time just getting his money up, another man's gonna spend time doing different things. You gotta learn both over your lifetime, but whichever one you learn first is gonna be typically what you lean on for a period of time. So if you lean on the fact that you know that you're competitive out here in the streets with who you deal with, then you're not really worried about a woman's body count. But the typical traditional man is not doing that. So it kind of puts him at a disadvantage when it comes to dealing with women who are experienced. And I can't be mad at him about it. He want to deal with somebody with similar experience level.
That is very, very interesting. What are your thoughts, Alicia? Are you still catching up? People dropping off like flies.
Yeah, I don't think there's nothing wrong with somebody wanting to deal with somebody who has a similar level of experience to them.
I mean, I think that's
I know.
accurate.
I'm like, why everybody dropping off? What's going on?
No.
My
I'm in the
phone-
middle of cooking, so I mute my phone, so there's no
Okay.
background. Whatever.
Okay.
So,
So,
Alicia,
you know.
we haven't heard any of your
Input.
thoughts.
Well, this is my first time, so I'm just listening. I'm just a bystander at this point. So I mean, I'm an open book, so any particular question I have no problem answering. But like I said, I've been in and out because I've been cooking and what I'm doing. So I hear some and I don't hear some. So that's pretty much that.
Chance that the generation has.
So what you
oftentimes-
cooking for dinner?
Go ahead.
I'm doing Asian tonight, so I'm doing a stir fry with steak and then the lo mein, and I'm frying some cream cheese wontons with side of rice.
Ooh, yummy. Okay, sorry guys.
But
No,
I
it's all
think one of the best situations for people to be in is if they meet somebody when they're young. Like let's say it's two people, and you see it from time to time. Two people they meet, they in high school, they're compatible, they love each other, they find a way to make it work before they get overstimulated. Them people, I think they got a good chance of making it because they're not overstimulated, and then they already build a bond and a connection.
I
But it's the
mean,
people
I
who-
have to kind of disagree with you because those people are gonna actually grow and grow into something else. So they might grow together because it happens all the time, but it also happens where they don't.
I can sit on the fence on this one. You know what I mean? Where I agree with you. Yeah, we can grow together or not. You know what I mean? There's also, in general, as you age, right?
Yeah,
Most of
that's
us
what I'm
we're
saying.
not.
You
Oh,
just grow different,
right.
grow apart sometimes.
We didn't fuck the same way in our 20s that we fuck in our 30s, and we won't fuck the same way in our 40s.
No.
You know what I mean? It's all gonna
Well,
just.
I just turned 41, so I'm experiencing it. But go ahead.
Well, no, I'm just saying in general. You know what I mean? What you were doing at one point, where it was more like the
Yeah,
rabbit
it
thing
ain't-
versus
it ain't
the
the
making the
same.
love thing. It's a little different.
It ain't
So
the same.
it's not the same. And if you marry young or you're with somebody young and both of you have the want to grow together in every way, including sexually, then you're good. Which it could, trying new things, trying whatever, and that can and then build on that type of thing. You know what I mean? But everybody gets a little different as they get a little older. You experience different things, you notice different
I
things. You're
agree.
like,
Different
wait a minute.
things, yeah.
People do that. I want to try that shit. Hold on.
Right. And
Hold
then
on real
sometimes-
quick.
And then to be quite honest, sometimes you don't even know people be doing that until you break up with somebody, and then you be like, "Wait, people are out here doing that?" Like seriously.
It's not even the breakup. Like, dealt with different people in different aspects. You know what I mean? And just certain things. It's like, oh, I could have been doing that. That sounds great. Where do I sign this?
That sounds great.
I think
Right.
communication is important with that. I think it's important to be able to have.
But
conversations
sometimes
about
you
your
don't
fantasy.
even know. But see, this is my thing, and that's why people be saying, "I want a person that don't have that much experience, et cetera, et cetera." And I'm not saying you're supposed to have somebody that been around the block with everybody, but at the same time, she ain't got no experience with nothing. You like, she don't even really know what she like.
Well,
And
it's
then
not just
she
that, but
don't
if you
even know
keep your
what's going on out
communication,
there.
if you keep your communication open, you should be able to have that open conversation
Okay,
about
you can have that open conversation, but what if you don't know? What if you a chick and you don't know women are out here getting their hair pulled? You don't know women are out here getting spanked. You don't know
I'm
women
trying to
are
put
out
handcuffs
here.
on somebody's son. I
That
don't know.
person that
Okay,
that
Hey,
person
you can just.
out here
officially
doing handcuffs and you
that
don't know
person
people doing
officially
that.
lives under a rock. A person that doesn't know
Yeah,
people are getting
yeah. Just
their
go on
hair
No,
Facebook.
that's not true.
and
Sometimes I like to go on Facebook. Sometimes I like to go on
no,
Facebook
listen.
and
In
see what they
today's
talking about. Go on
in
Twitter,
today's
see what they
society,
doing. Say, baby, you want to try this? With women I
in,
deal with, I
in
go on
today's
Twitter and I'll
society,
see some freaky shit and I'll send them the link. I'm like, yeah, let's do this right here.
right. Because Amari, you're
Well,
right.
not just that. I understand that even movie
It's
like
like what you want now.
blockbusters, little mom and
The way
pop.
porno is in today's
Mm-hmm.
society, for people to act like they're oblivious to certain things is unrealistic.
I
It's
think
not that
because
they're
in a
not
lot of
oblivious. Some
aspects,
people just
because
don't know people
watching
really do
porn
that.
was so frowned
No,
upon by different people, like your parents and all that. Like I would never tell my parents that this is what I pulled out to rent for the night. They look at me like, bitch, what?
Are you talking about back in the days? No, I'm talking about like in today's society. Like,
Well, that's what I'm saying. But as we're getting
I'm not saying people don't know.
older,
I'm saying people don't know that because I'm saying some people aren't thinking that's the thing to do. Like, oh, people are chaining people up. People are handcuffing people. People are swinging from ceiling fans. A lot of people, they know
just
what's
saying,
happening,
shower
but they
curtains.
think
just make sure it's double reinforced, and you good.
right. They think it's happening. Wait, that's what I'm saying. They think it's happening, but they like that only happens in porns. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit.
I think it's one of them things where it's really a matter of in relationships. Like I believe you should be able to teach whatever it is that you like because there's a full list, there's a full spectrum of things that you're gonna need to be satisfied in a relationship. And the more of those things you actually know how to teach and communicate, the more you can focus on things that are a little bit more important. So me, I put a lot of emphasis on making sure I'm sexually compatible with women and knowing how to teach what I like. That way I can focus more on the character of the woman and how she treats me versus if she can hit me with the Gok 5000, because I can teach her the Gok 5000. So I don't have to bend my whole life down.
Well, then you should start a class. No,
I do. That's why I'm Coach Brody.
Well, it's not just that, but that goes back to the communication. You should be able to have, that talk. That here, lay down for a second. I want to try something, and there's a trust where you say you're not about to
That's true, but it ain't even the talk. It's more of some people are not aware. Some people are really thinking this is only shit that happens in porn. You see what I'm saying?
I think men are a big part of the problem with it. I think men are a big part of the problem because sometimes when a woman brings something up new sexually, a man will start getting the side eye, like his woman cheating on him.
Who you
or it's
been
like,
with?
where you learn that from?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I literally did have a boyfriend one time. I got into biting. Don't judge me. I got into biting, and I was like kissing him, and I bit him, and he goes, "Oh, where'd you get that from?" And I was like, "Motherfucker, I went to slap him."
No, ain't no real shit though. That happened to me one time too though. One chick all of a sudden told me, "Oh no, like stop biting me." At first she liked it, and all of a sudden it's like, "Oh no." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like I don't know. I just put my mind was like, "Who you? Wait, who? Wait,
who you been dealing with?" Yeah.
And all of a sudden you don't want me doing it. Oh, okay, whatever. Anyways, yeah.
Okay.
But I agree with Coach. I would that is where a lot of men's mind gonna go. Like, wait, where is this coming from? Especially if that wasn't communicated to you in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like, like you should talk about that.
I'm gonna say something real.
Porn.
I'm gonna say something real, and this is something that some women may not agree with. Now, I don't judge women based off of their body counts and stuff like that, but I will say this: a man has the greatest ability to process your past before he gets emotionally invested in you.
Yeah.
So if you're able to show that you are actually a quality woman and you're honest about how you got down, and because really a part of that honesty is based on believing that this person can take you further. If you don't believe that person can take you further than where you've been, you're not gonna tell them the truth.
Agreed.
No,
No, that's not
that
always
might
true. Wait, what
yeah.
do you mean? You
Again,
don't think they're gonna take you further? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
sexually, like take you further
Okay,
sexually.
so you don't believe they could take you sexually further?
Yeah, if you don't,
Right?
yeah, if
I
you
gotta
don't
think about
believe,
that.
if you don't believe that the person can take you further, you're gonna be a lot less open to being honest about how you moved and how you got down. And I think that's just the truth. It's like one thing I realized is
Oh yeah,
I
because
say,
you don't want them to think that you're like way over the line.
but if you think they're further than you already, then you'll tell them all the beans. You'll spill
That's
all the beans.
right, exactly. Yeah, it's gonna come out eventually anyway. It's gonna come out. You can hide it all you want, but
But it's better to
again,
find out in a positive way than
Right.
you 6 months into the
Right,
relationship, you 5 years into the relationship. I've been faking it this whole time. Really, you got the smallest dick out of all my ex-boyfriends. And then that kind of shit come up, and then now the dude hates your guts.
Why would you tell a man that in the first place?
They wait for an argument.
Right.
My thing is this. I feel my thing is this. I feel like I mean, you gotta give some. You can't do that. That's not
They
nice.
wait. That's the real shit. They wait for argument.
They wait for argument.
That's when you guys like to cut. That's when y'all be bringing out the knives. That's when y'all like to cut in the argument.
Oh, whatever.
Well,
I ain't never told nobody that. I've never
Well,
did
like the
that.
saying goes, people tell you the truth when they're angry. They'll tell you the truth.
That's not true because I've never told my dude he had the smallest dick.
I'm not saying you. We're not saying you do. I'm just saying generally when people
I'm
get
just
mad,
saying,
they tell you how they really
true.
feel.
I'm just saying, even if it was true, no. So I don't know. Maybe that's just them mediocre chicks. I don't know.
So you
I
ain't never been in an
told no
argument with anybody, not even just a man, and then the got mad and said
So you
something
got a
that you
little
knew would
dick?
hurt them. Huh?
That he said about his dick.
I'm saying, I'm talking about no, just period. Like even with a woman, you ain't never got mad and told a woman or
with
anybody.
a man, I've told him he was a bitch ass nigga. That was the worst thing I've ever told a dude.
Did you?
I told
So
him he
you
was
felt
a
like you
bitch
was
ass nigga.
because you was mad?
Yeah.
Did you really feel like you was a bitch ass nigga?
Yes. At that point.
Okay,
yes.
that's what we're saying. Like when y'all get mad, that's when that's when the truth come out. That's what I'm saying.
Let me tell y'all a quick little story, right? So there's this one woman I was dealing with, right? I was dealing with. She was having a good time, right? And I opened her up because before she never had like vaginal orgasm penetration, and I opened up to like the multiples, all that different stuff, the subspace, all that stuff, right? And the cervical orgasms, all that type of stuff. Then she left off from dealing with me because one thing people also don't talk about is oftentimes women have a love-hate relationship with the power that a man can have over them. So when I wasn't even controlling or nothing like that, but the way she felt about me, it kind of burnt her out sometimes, right? So one time she met a dude, he wanted a relationship. So she went and started a relationship with him. She was dating him for about a year, right? But then after that year, they were having a conversation. She was like, well, she hit me up one day. It's like, you want, can we talk? I was like, all right, cool, pull up. We pulled up, and when she pulled up and we was talking, and I already caught the vibe. This dude couldn't satisfy her. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm sitting here sitting back listening.
Okay, no. I'm gonna stop you. I'm sorry. But I think to me that sounds like there's information missing, number one. And
I was about to give you the information. You cut me off.
Okay, go ahead.
So while we were sitting in the car and we was talking and she was expressing what's going on, she's like, yeah, earlier tonight we were having a conversation and, I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just being honest. He told me something he didn't like and I told him something I didn't like, right?
Exactly.
And,
There you go. He said something I didn't like, so I had to come back with it. Oh, man.
I ain't gonna say what happened next. I don't know who all.
No, I'm trying to understand what's going on in the situation, and you're not finished. You told me I cut you off, but you didn't finish the story.
No, that was pretty much the story. What do you feel like was missing?
Okay, so what's missing to me? What's missing is, to me, she seems like she may have had a mental problem, and I'm not even being funny because There's no way I had the best sex with a man I've ever had, and I'm just gonna cut him off on some bullshit. Either I'm gonna cut him off on some mental, I'm retarded shit. I mean, ooh, let me stop saying that R word. Either I'm gonna cut him off on some mental, I'm mental shit, or I'm gonna cut him off on some, oh my God, you remind me of this person, and you're not really taking me seriously, and da 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 da.
No, that's what it was
more
on.
Information. Okay, I need more.
Yeah.
That's why I said I need more information.
Yeah. I've had different women do that before. Like I dealt with women before. Like I'm in the BDSM.
You see, so now you see where he tried to trip us up and try to say, oh, that's what happened, and it was like, no, there was more to that story. But go
I
ahead.
thought I already said that part of the story.
No, you didn't.
I said she went and jumped to a guy who was giving a relationship immediately right off the bat. I feel like that tells that part of the story.
Because you didn't want to give her one.
No, to me, I have a vetting process. I don't just jump into relationships just because I'm fucking somebody.
No, and you shouldn't, because I have a vetting process too. But no, that's great. That's great. You shouldn't. I'm just asking. So you didn't want to give her a relationship right away, but you gave her some dick right away. But you didn't.
She had to work for that a little bit too. But
you didn't give her no relationship right away, and she wanted one, and that was the problem. I mean, that makes sense. Men do the same shit.
Okay, so I got a question then. So like, why, like, okay, because since we're on the subject of dating, because like this has been something I was like, there's like a woman to stop dealing with a dude because he can't satisfy her, but then like if a guy do it, like hit it and quit, it's like, oh man, he gets demonized. But it's like, no, like,
no,
we didn't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what's the difference? It's like,
okay, my thing is this: if you didn't enjoy it, you didn't enjoy it. But a lot of men will lie and skate around the idea.
I'm talking about what I mean, like me that won't lie and skate around and just be like, look, nah, it just ain't hit for me. Like, then all of a sudden,
you've told a woman her pussy just wasn't hidden for you.
we've had. I'm not gonna get into that, but like again.
So have you ever told a woman? I didn't say you got to tell me her name. But have you
Yes,
ever
I have.
told a
I have.
woman
Yes, I have. I have told her
that the pussy wasn't hidden for you.
I told her that. Yes, I have told her.
Wow,
yes,
that's crazy. And
now,
you know
now,
what?
Now,
she should have
hold
taken that for what you said. She should have
But-
taken that, and yeah.
But here's my thing though. But I wouldn't like. I think it kind of like you said. It depends on the woman. Like you might be like, all right, we could work through this, but then some people like, nah.
Fuck that. I'm not working
You know
through
what I'm
nobody. Somebody tell me my pussy is whack.
No, you know something that'll happen. Like
He
when I was
ain't
talking
never
about
getting it again.
hey, when I was talking about the gentleman gigolo complex, another thing that can pop up sometimes is the religious point of view for people who already passed that point. So it's like I didn't have women who was like submissive. They was down there. They swear up their fealty up and down, up and down, up and down. But then one night they have just a real intense session, and then the next day they come with it. And I've experienced it with different women too. The next day I just don't feel this. You know?
Yeah. Wait, so one day you felt it, the next day you didn't?
Well, you know, it. Oh.
I think you just weren't ready. Whoever felt that way, you just weren't ready. I felt that way too. I felt the way like, ooh, I like this dude. And then when I met him and like and then got to the point, to that point, it was just like, I'm good.
No, because it's one of them things where typically I'm gonna tell you how it usually happens. Because one thing I've learned is that you can't lead with the A game, because if you on a certain level, it can mess with somebody's mental health. And I had to learn that the hard way.
I don't know about all that, but yeah.
No, it does. No, it kind of does. It's called love bombing. They don't. Well, go ahead.
I mean, love bombing is more than just your dick, sir.
No,
love
but he didn't say that though. He didn't say that. He didn't say that.
No, he said at a certain level. We were talking about sex, and then he said at a certain level. We were not. The love bombing is more like you're my everything. I'm treating you like you're my everything. And then all of a sudden,
but that could really mess with you. But that can mess with you mentally, though.
Yes, it can. If you're treating you like you're my everything, but that has nothing to do with just sex, though.
Well,
no, I'm talking about stuff like a woman having them crygasm, like she crying off the dick.
No, nobody.
Now she's sitting here boo-hoo down.
Sex. See, exactly.
I'm talking about sex.
And
I'm not even talking about a woman I'm in a relationship with. I'm dating serious.
But he said lovegasms, and lovegasms are something totally different.
Yeah, that's two
I
different
mean,
things.
love bombing is totally different. Love bombing is.
But I was Googling a sex bomb earlier because I was trying to see if that was a thing, because I'm like, man, Like I done noticed moments where I done stepped up a notch dealing with certain women. Like there's women who I would be dealing with for a whole 8 months, right? There's this one woman I dealt with her for 8 months, right? She was, a fuck buddy of mine. The moment I figured out her body, she lost all her fucking capacity to act like she had good
Let me
sex.
tell you something. I do not care. I've had a man give me my first, not orgasm period, but first internal orgasm, and that's a little different than the regular, and I still wasn't like crazy about him. You know why? Because I'm like, it's more than just about sex for me, so it just depends on the woman you deal with.
No, that's some real stuff, and that's just something I've noticed, right? And it's like typically women are used to using their clitoris their entire life. As soon as they get old enough to flick that beam, they're flicking that beam. But once they come off of that dick, if something get unlocked in their brain, and if they don't like that, it's gonna be a fight or flight.
It's not about that. It's if you hit the you gotta hit the G spot, and if you hit the G spot, it's a little different. That G spot orgasm is different. It's great. It's beautiful. But I ain't never fell in love with nobody from just no sex, so I don't know.
I ain't talking about just falling in love. I'm talking about like it's a whole domination experience to go along with it as well, because that's part of how you get there. And also, it's like I'm talking about like cervical orgasms and shit like that. Like y'all ain't never had the cervical.
First of all, there's 2 orgasms. Okay, there's 2 orgasms. I'm a woman. I have.
Don't catch yourself up now, because I'm an expert.
I'm not catching myself up. Boy, bye.
This is one thing I know what I'm talking about here. So you sound like you're about to say something wrong.
Too. I'm a woman. I was born a woman. And first of all, there's 1 orgasm from your clitoral whatever. Then there's 1 orgasm that's the G spot, which is inside. And then there's 1 orgasm. You can get an orgasm from your because I know some women who get orgasms from their butt
or their nipples.
Now there are at least 4 spots within the vagina that give orgasms, because you got to say there's a G spot, the A spot, the O spot, and the cervix. And the most emotionally profound one is the cervical orgasm.
Let them women tell you that bullshit if they want to.
You want to look it up? It's science and it's experience. It's anecdotal. I have recordings
let
of
them
women
tell you them bullshit if they want to.
Just because you ain't had it, if you ain't had it, just say that. But that don't mean it don't exist.
He just said, Tabby, hit him up one day. He might teach you a little something. That's all he's saying, though.
No, I'm good.
Not like that. I mean, like, no, I'm not literally, but you know what I mean. Like, you know.
I know what you're saying. I know. I get it.
I don't know. I mean, it might be. I don't know. Yeah, the whole sexual experience thing. I won't say I might completely experience. I mean, but I've always known when I've dealt with a woman who I knew was clearly more experienced than me. I tell you that. Tell you that.
Right.
I will tell you that.
How would you know? Maybe you just
wasn't. But my thing is this: like, I'm a pretty humble.
The cervical orgasm is a very good thing. Okay, so where it comes from. You guys go ahead and read that up, okay? I'll be back.
No, I was just showing you that it's a real thing.
Like there's no type of really orgasm outside of like no touch shit. We're not gonna get into the tantric shit. We're just talking about physical body parts, right? There's nothing really more emotional than that cervical, and the A spot causes the tears, because it's oftentimes it's right next, like between the A spot and the cervical is that vagus nerve, and that vagus nerve is connected to the cervix and the uterus, and it's also connected to the throat, where throat gasms come from too. So that vagus nerve, that thing kind of connects on a certain level that aligns the body and aligns the energy to where a woman just releases and goes into subspace. And in that subspace, it's like she loses all form and function of her perception of reality in that moment. Like everything kind of just goes blank, and anything you want to do to her, she down for it. And and if she agrees to things in that moment that she typically wouldn't agree to in her regular mind, then when she comes back to her regular mind, it's like she was under the influence.
Yeah, she feels like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't make that conscious decision. That was from the, and then, yeah, you did that. Like, that's on you. You know what you were doing to me. Yeah.
And that can create like a fight or flight type of response.
Yeah. Well, she'd be so confused at that point. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, what do I though? I'm like, wait, hold on, wait a minute. This nigga, I just
But
told
it's
this
all
nigga.
but it's all connected, correct?
I mean, there's different focal
Things that are
points.
connected.
They're connected, but there are different focal points.
Okay.
Just like every part of the body is connected to another part of the body. But just because I hit you in your arm, and I hit you in your elbow,
But
yeah, they're both your arm.
but there's pressure points. There's a lot of different things that, you know what I'm saying. So it